I have this other chick. You have the Raiders fans? I sent you a clip of Raider fans.
Yes, I have
you know, they're saying, fuck AB.
Okay.
What's the matter?
No.
Jesus Christ, look downfield! What the fuck?
1 minute, 48 seconds, please. 148. The clock will start on the
That was a third fucking check-off. Jesus Christ, Carson, that was a third fucking check-off. Jesus Christ, look downfield! What the fuck?
1 minute, 48 seconds.
You ready to eat some fucking tacos, bro? You ready to eat some fucking tacos, bro? Taco Tuesday! Taco Tuesday! Taco Tuesday! Taco Tuesday! Hey, don't want no pizza. Viva tequila. It's Tuesday drink, more margaritas. I'm with Katrina. She loves Selena. She likes it hard. No soft tortillas. We playing FIFA in Argentina. The sauce is hot.
What day is it? Sorry, LeBron, we're not running your clip anymore. Now that you've decided to try to monetize a term that's been around since the Spanish-American War, I believe. But don't quote me on that. I haven't Googled it. Sort of like the New York Times. They don't fact-check either. So why should I fact-check? I'm only one guy here and a woman assistant. Miss Robin, my faithful Indian companion. She's not Indian, but she's more Indian than Elizabeth Ward. But she's here. It's Taco Tuesday. It's also Stump Jose on Taco Tuesday.
Yes, sirree, Bob.
And we've got a jam-packed, action-packed, fun-filled program for you today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Because we've got football breakdown. Mr. Monday Night unsheathed it last night. Fun time last night, Miss Robin. Where were we? Landmark Americano. Speaking of tacos, Robin went early with her Taco Tuesday celebration.
I did. I celebrated last night instead of today because they were so delicious. Tuna, sesame tuna, sashimi, oh my God, it was so amazing.
I hate to use the term violation. God, what's wrong with my throat today? I wasn't even screaming last night. Now, are we on here? Because I'm not seeing my my dashboard running.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we're underway. And I welcome everybody on twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live. If you're new to the program, it's the show that's unencumbered, unvarnished, uncensored, and undeniably fun. We're going to have fun, as we always do. 180 minutes, maybe even a couple extra for extra time or injury time if somebody gets hurt during the show today.
Really?
We add the time. We always do, Robin. We don't,
Well,
we may start a minute late.
We might subtract time, too, though, like we did
No,
yesterday.
we rarely do that, Robin. And when we do, we let people know in advance. We don't just pull a fast one on people. We let them know. But last night, a Landmark Americano over in Glassboro, New Jersey, our now new normal every Monday night spot. Great vibe, great crowd. Of course, there were 2 Monday night games, so we did an abbreviated show on 97.3 ESPN FM and, of course, live on our Twitch stream at twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live. A lot of fun, good music, good crowd, good energy, and, of course, good information. And Mr. Monday Night did release 2 selections. I had the New Orleans Saints in the first game, and obviously it was one of the most exciting games ever, and it came down to the last minute. In fact, there were 3 scores in that game in the last minute. 2 field goals and a touchdown. And the Saints were up 6. And if you took the Saints and laid the points, you're thinking, you're going to need an interception, some sort of turnover. The Saints aren't going to cover. And while you're thinking about it from that perspective, the Saints didn't cover. But Deshaun Watson was just absolutely incredible all night long. 3 touchdowns. He ran one in. DeAndre Hopkins was phenomenal. I mean, that's a really good offense. There were 2 good offenses last night. The defenses, not so much. That's why I said take the over. So we had the over last night in the Saints, so 1-1 there. Mm-hmm. And then the second game, much to the dismay of many people who said, how can you pick the Oakland Raiders? How can you pick the Oakland Raiders? They're an absolute shit show. Everything is a mess. There's no way they can snap right back after the Antonio Brown disaster. And it, by the way, wasn't just a couple of days. This has been going on the entire training camp for the Raiders. And the Raiders eventually were favorites, 1.5-point favorites. And they came out last night and went right down the field. Derek Carr, the much-maligned quarterback, yeah, of course, they were upset that but you have to move on in sports. You have to move on in life. You lose somebody in your family, you mourn over it. There wasn't much mourning going on for Antonio Brown, but you move on. Life goes on in everything that we do, but especially in sports for the athletes who are still around to play. What are they going to say? We're not going to really go out and play hard tonight because Antonio Brown's not here. Antonio Brown just up and left us.
They're going to fall apart.
And they may fall apart yet. And their defense was horrible last year. But they played defense. They had 3 sacks last night. And Joe Flacco, looked very bizarre seeing Joe Flacco wearing a Denver Bronco outfit, a uniform last night. It just didn't look right. When you see a guy forever in one uniform like the Baltimore Ravens, seeing him in a Denver Bronco uniform. But the Raiders last night played great. Their defense played great. Their offense did what they needed to do. Their rookie running back, Josh Jacobs, had 2 touchdown runs. I mentioned 3 sacks. The Raiders had like 13 sacks the entire year last year as a team. So anybody who thought, the Raiders are going to quit, they stink, how can they bounce back? They did. And Raider fans, now I'm sure there'll be some woke, really cool, sharp columnist out there somewhere who will rip the Raider fans like they did the Eagle fans here because of one incident over what the Raider fans did. You know how fans move on to? The fans wanted Antonio Brown there in the black hole. Robin and I have been in the black hole. I've been ridiculed in the black hole, but I've been embraced in the black hole too. I didn't go in there and grab some guy's shoulder pads off with spikes on them and then expect to be praised as a guy. Hey, everybody likes that guy. It's okay if you went in there and went into the black hole and started something with the fans in Raider Nation. I never do that stuff. And I don't care who has a better tailgate. I always go where the fun is. But meanwhile, Raider fans last night, let's go to the tape. This is last night at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, whatever they call it this week. This is the last year for the Raiders, their last Monday night game in the black hole. And this is how the fans reacted to not having Antonio Brown in the organization any longer. Let's go to the tape. How dare they?
Tony?
What animals?
I can't quite hear what they're saying. Can you please translate for me?
MVP? MVP?
No, that
man.
doesn't quite sound right.
They're savages. Those fans they should be thrown out of the game. They should not be allowed in any tailgates or anywhere else in civilized America.
Tony, they can't possibly be saying what I think they're saying, can they?
That's what they're saying. You know why? Just like the fans who chant asshole, asshole in the stands at every arena and every stadium in America when a referee screws up. That's passion and energy, as my great friend JT the Brick would say. That's the passion and the energy of the Raider fans. What are they supposed to do? Quit and say, our season's done. Antonio Brown decided to up and put his staged bullshit campaign to get the hell out of there so he can go with the Patriots. I feel good for Raider fans, and I feel good for the Raiders. You know, I'm not a Raider fan. I'm not a Raider hater, but that's what fans want to see. They want to see their teams rally around something when they lose somebody that they thought was going to help them.
Well, when did, because good-natured ribbing in sports and kind of going back and forth, it kind of goes with the game. I mean,
exactly.
You're supposed to. It's a game. When did it become okay to go beyond the good-natured stuff?
But remember, this is in the tunnels. This
No,
isn't
I
on
have
the
no
air.
pro- I have
This
no
isn't on
problem with
TV. This isn't getting in Denver Bronco
Right.
fans' faces. This is what the fans who realize that Antonio Brown, so this is their way without hurting anybody,
Right.
without brawling, without beating somebody up, without ripping scarves off people, without all that other stuff. They went out there and they had a good time and they said, you know what, we don't have the guy. Well, I'm cool, basically, is what they say.
Exactly.
Except they did it in English as opposed to the way I would say it.
I know. If they'd said it in Italian, people wouldn't have given them a hard time at all. They were like, oh, that sounds so cool. What is that they're saying?
It sounds better in Italian. Let's be honest.
Of course, all of the Tony Bruno fans would have known what they were really saying.
This is what they were saying, basically, if it were being in Italian.
Bafangul, huh?
And even the female Raider Nation fans were saying the same thing. Yeah, but see, it sounds nicer. It sounds more elegant,
Oh,
exquisite
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you say it in Italian.
Very classy.
When you say it in English, one more time from the Raider Nation last night in the black hole. Ingrates. Now, people, I don't know if they're joking. Where's the AB casket? I think they got that one in Pittsburgh right now. They're passing the casket around. I think the Eagle fans from the F-Lot crew are going to let the Steelers fans borrow the AB casket because they're all happy, and we got rid of that guy, he was a cancer. Oh, we got rid of the other guy, he was a cancer. And then they go out and get their doors blown in. Listen, obviously AB's a great receiver, and I'm not picking on the Patriots or the Raiders or the Steelers. Fans react as fans. When they feel like a player snubs them, what do? They get pissed off. LeBron James won a championship in Cleveland, and they burned his jersey after he left. Actually, they burned his jersey when they first had him and didn't win a championship and went to Miami with the smoke and mirrors. And then when he won a championship in Cleveland, they loved him again. And then he goes to L.A., and they burn jerseys again. That's what fans do. Are they breaking the law? Are they hurting anybody? Are they shooting people? Are they stabbing people? No, they're being fans. And if you don't understand how fans react, do I like the profanity? No. But that wasn't harmful. That wasn't on the air. It wasn't somebody grabbing a mic and saying it over the loudspeaker. It was fans like, hey, this is my team now. We don't have that guy. Screw him.
Here's what
you
I
move
would like
on
to,
with what you have.
Here's what I would like to say to all fans out there. Just a little note. You do not always have to react to something that you don't like seeing or hearing.
It was in their house, by the way.
Yeah, no, I'm not.
It's in their house.
I'm not necessarily talking about
come into our house.
Right.
Even you, Mike Scott, you come into our house. Well, you shouldn't get your behind kicked unless you start trouble in you.
That shouldn't happen. I mean, we went through this yesterday with a very long rant from yours truly, Tony Bruno. But both Mike Scott, Eagles, any fans out there, if you're in your house and somebody does something, you do not have to react.
Come into my.
But
This is
don't
my house.
have to react.
Protect my house and all the other advertising jingles and slogans that people use and love, unless it's against them. I mean, come on, people.
KOP Joe, don't tell me how to be a fan.
Actually, Phil fan Andrew said he was definitely joking. The guy's a clown.
Yes. I mean, just you don't have to react. Just
Mike Scott, by
let
the
it
way,
go.
did not fly out to Oakland be a part of that. I just want to clear that
And-
up. I don't want all the Mike Scott fans to be upset thinking that he may have gone there to cause trouble in Oakland last night. No, he did not.
And just to confirm what we were waiting to find out via correct journalism and not reporting something that was not true, the jersey that was on the casket yesterday was not as previously
Well,
stated.
we knew that. See, because you know what we do on the show, what I do? I wait for facts. I watch all the evidence that I see, what everybody else saw. I wasn't there, just like most of the people who are commenting on things that happened were never there. So when I'm never there, I try to gather information. I've done this maybe 50 years. And again, you can do whatever you want. But the problem with social media is people can run with stuff and then other people will take it as fact before it actually is determined to be a
Right.
fact. And I don't want to relitigate the whole Mike Scott thing. That's past. That's old news.
Right.
The bottom line is he was walking around through the parking lots and everybody loved him. He didn't have any problems. Most fans loved him. You know, you got all these different tailgates who are all vying for love, and he came to my tailgate. My tailgate's cool. That other tailgate, they suck. They're all Eagle fans at an Eagle game. But now it's like, hey man, it doesn't happen at my tailgate. My tailgate, we just do beer bongs and just pour booze down people's throats. We don't resort to that other stupid stuff. We don't resort to caskets. By the way, with the AB casket, I believe, is now going to be a big seller in Pittsburgh and in Oakland
yeah.
at the Halloween stores.
Yeah, actually, AJ in San Antonio says that casket can now be purchased at all Halloween stores.
Exactly. Listen, the casket thing, and now I like the hipper, younger, gentler Eagle fan condemning, we're not the 700 level anymore. Nah, we don't do that here. We don't do. No, the same people who are condemning the casket thing, which has been going on for generations, are the first ones who go to WWE Monday Night Raw and go and get spastic and start ejaculating when The Undertaker comes out of his coffin at ringside. They're the same people. Oh, how do you bring a coffin into a parking lot? Oh my God, that is just so stupid. I can't go drink a beer with those people. They got a coffin in there with nothing inside.
And referring back to the year 1991, by the way.
Anyway, enough about that. Hey, God bless you and your tailgates. You want to sell T-shirts and give away stuff? That's good. I don't care what you do. I really don't. I don't knock people for how they do their tailgates.
Because I'll cut you, bitch.
Exactly. I only care about this whole tailgate wars.
that
That's
was-
going to be, forget about parking wars.
Tailgate.
Now Philadelphia, now parking. Tailgate wars.
Don't give anybody ideas because then it's going to be like the whatchamacallit show in the parking lot. Jerry Springer show meets the parking lot tailgates. No, God. What is up with my hair?
Anyways, you want to play the race card. The same guy was walking through everywhere and was being embraced and loved by the fans.
Yeah.
But then, of course, you got the talking heads, the woke talking heads on radio who make it about race. Mike Scott, then, by the way, after that stupid incident, was up in the stands sitting with white people who obviously hate him because they're all racist. Okay? Every white person's a racist. If that makes you happy, go right ahead. I'm a racist, too. Although I did bring my Klan suit over to the organic cleaners if it makes you feel better. It's ridiculous, man.
Oh, somebody put a crown on your head.
You want to crown them? You crown their asses. Because they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook. Well, that's what the Saints defense did last night to the Houston Texans.
Just a quick, it was speaking of how rumors and how incorrect information can just go like gangbusters immediately. So yesterday, somebody texted you something that ended up not being true, but it was a sad note, and we are going to talk about it because it is World Suicide Prevention Day.
Yes. And you know what World Suicide Prevention Day is to me? Every day. And I know, listen, I have no problem with spreading the word because it's a very big problem.
Yes, it is.
And to have one day designated is fine. But, you know, obviously depression and people having bad thoughts about their lives and all the things that are contributing to people killing themselves, It's a big problem.
Yeah.
And so there are suicide prevention hotlines. If you feel down in the dumps, I've felt that way many times in my life. I'm on medication. You try to just lift yourself up and be happy every day. I know that's easier said than done. You have to have people. You have to have people around you who care and will try to make sure that you're getting the help you need.
Well, here's the thing, though, that even if you don't feel like you have anybody that you can talk to, there are people.
That's why you have suicide prevention.
Yeah.
Those are the people if you don't have anyone
And
in your family structure.
I know
or friends
many
that
people
care
that have talked about it, and sometimes it's actually easier talking to a stranger than it is to
Exactly.
it is to talking to somebody that's close to you, because you feel like you don't want to let them down, you don't want to worry them, you don't want to like even though you know it's really serious, you don't want to tell somebody that you're feeling this way and then be made to feel like, oh, you're just, overreacting.
Exactly. No,
So-
everybody understands that, Robin.
Right.
Everybody who's gone through it has a family friend, someone in their family, someone's depressed. It seems like more people in this world are depressed now than ever before. And there's a lot of reasons, certainly. There's a lot of reasons to be depressed. But then there's the way I try to look at it and try to avoid depression is by finding things that make me happy, not by finding
Like
things
this
that make
show.
me sad. Like doing this every day, communicating with our great fans,
but,
and all the people out there who love having fun every day. If I don't believe I've ever gone through one day in my life, maybe I have, but I don't remember them, where I don't laugh and laugh a lot. And if you don't laugh a lot, then it puts you in a position mentally where you're looking for the bad, because we always gravitate toward bad things.
You did go through.
Well,
a
I
long
went through
time
some
with-
dark times.
Yeah.
But I had help, and I got help from the doctors, and I got help from psychologists, and I try to stay positive every day. I goof off a lot, but that's part of it. I don't take things that are not serious.
Mm-hmm.
I do that, but I don't take things that are not serious so seriously, like a lot of people do every day. They worry about politics and who's saying this, and I goof off about politics. But if everybody's so upset every day about anything that happens, how is that going to make you happy? It doesn't. You know how I get happy? I go to an Eagles game. And while we've been spending days and people all over the country now taking the opportunity because of this stupid tailgate thing to once again try to debate on whether the Eagle fans are the worst in the world and they are really animals and there's no doubting it, and somehow I'm defending those people, which I never have and never will, no matter where they are. Bad behavior is bad behavior. I don't justify one fan's bad behavior because of others. So I have a track record proven over the airwaves. Not, hey, I told a friend one time that I really hate those idiots who are drunk in the parking lots.
No,
I've been
you
saying
called
this
them
for
out.
generations.
Yes, you have.
But the one
Like,
thing
you
about
even-
good fans, though.
Actually, that goes to show you the whole narrative about the throwing snowballs at Santa.
Exactly. That was cleared up decades ago.
Yes.
But you know what? It's still thrown out there
Uh-huh.
by the people nationally who have no idea. And so it's like urban legends that never go away. You still believe them even after they've been debunked.
Yep.
Even after things, the snowballs at Santa Claus and all the other stuff that's been debunked. But guess what? And I say this again, and so I get the people on Twitter, well, yeah, that's it. So justify the Philly fans by bringing up other fans. I'm not justifying any idiotic fans. Do you understand how that works? One person in one city does something stupid and gets on viral video. That person's stupid. Somebody in Philadelphia does something stupid and gets on viral video. That person's stupid. There's no one person's better than the other or different rules for different people in different cities. Never has been, never will be in my world. Now you can sit
They're
there and
all
make
Stu-Nods.
you can sit there and do your Mount Rushmore of the worst fans in the world. You better start over in Europe. You better start over with soccer hooligans. They can't even go to a regular season game any day of the week and not have issues. Racists in the stands yelling stuff at players. Right? You see that all the time.
Yep.
Players of other races ridiculed by fan bases. And not just one moron who yells something out. The entire stadiums in some of these places. So I don't want to hear about it's all this Philadelphia and it's just here. Give me a break. Travel a little bit. Actually, do some research. That includes
But
you.
traveling is good.
It is
I
good.
think
You go around and you see how the world
I
works.
highly recommend traveling anywhere else except for the United States. Not that you shouldn't go through the United States as well, but really open your eyes to what else is out there, because it will make you change. It'll make you see things in a different light.
I've been to a lot of Raider games. I've been on the field. I've been in the stands. I've been all over the place. Again, not because I know more than anybody else. I've been in the same position that the Mike Scotts of the world and other athletes who go into different sports arenas do. People razz you. He was getting razzed, but there was fun razzing. There's a difference between fun razzing and taking things so seriously that you decide to pull a scarf off somebody. That doesn't normally work well no matter who you are. You could be LeBron James, the most well-known athlete, or you could be a guy who's only played 37 games with a team in Philadelphia. It doesn't matter. Just don't put yourself in bad positions. It's that simple. Got a little Johnny Cash there? Whose walk-up music is Johnny Cash?
No, I'm playing that because you talk about you've been everywhere.
Oh, it's because I'm old. But there's a lot of old people who haven't been anywhere, Robin, too. And I recommend that you travel, no matter how old you are. Yeah. Yeah.
Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. On travel I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Now,
That's
S.
Tony
Falcon
right
says,
there.
this is your second rant. This doesn't make me happy. My rants aren't anger or hatred. They're
Well,
there's no hatred in my rants.
You have to understand, Tony, like I do and some other people do, that even though his veins are popping and his face turns red.
That's just because that's the way they always do.
As he looks like he's going to explode, that does not mean he's angry.
I haven't gone all Stephen A. Smith or Skip Bayless kind of rage. There's no rage within me.
But it
now
looks
there's
like
rage against the machine.
It looks like it, Tony.
Does it?
Oh yeah, no. You look like you're angry.
Because I'm Italian, but
It
am
looks-
I calling people names? Am I using profanity to express my outrage over things? No, not in this case.
You're creative with your name calling or how you describe people.
I'm not pissed at all. How do I look pissed?
You do.
I look pissed?
Yes.
No, you haven't seen me look pissed.
I know. Trust me.
As what's his name would say, Bill Bixby when he was the Incredible Hulk.
Just so everybody knows, when Tony's really mad, his eyes like pop out. Like that cartoon character. So you will know if when he's just doing a rant or he is discussing animatedly, he's not angry.
I'm Italian.
He's a Philadelphia Italian.
I'm Italian, and I don't even get that loud. I don't even get as loud as I could.
You don't realize how loud you get in a normal like.
But I'm not screaming to the point where there's like distortion over the microphone. I
No,
know
there's
my
just
I know the
spittle. There's
levels.
spittle
There's
flying.
spittle, but it only goes on my
But
machine.
you're good. You're good because you know how to back up.
I know how to
Unlike-
back that thing up.
Yeah, you know how to. It's so funny. You do it so automatically. As soon as you start going loud, you immediately go back like that.
AJ in San Antonio, drive down Broad Street with Tony.
Yes.
That's mad. No, that's normal. Try driving through New
even
York.
then he's not mad.
You want to see mad? Try driving through New York City with anyone, including an Uber or Lyft driver or cab driver. Except the cab drivers in New York, I give them credit. They never flinch. They just do their thing, man. They see traffic, they weave in and out. Now, Uber and Lyft drivers are more angry because they're new to the game.
Yes.
They don't know that in New York City you have to drive angry so you can avoid accidents and have people honking at you.
Drive aggressive. There's a difference between driving angry and driving
It's the same
aggressive.
thing to me.
Nah.
When someone saying you want to run somebody down because they're not crossing the street fast enough, I don't go that angry. When I see people annoyed, people sitting in the left lane when I'm driving and they have no clue that they're blocking the left lane and everybody else is in the right lane and they can't get around them. Do I get angry? No, I'm like, you're a moron. Do I want to get out a bazooka and blow the tires out? Only temporarily. But then I don't have a bazooka and can't blow the tires.
You say Gatling gun.
Gatling gun, any kind of...
You want one on the hood that you can activate from
I
your
would just
steering
prefer
wheel.
to have like an electronic device which just automatically flattens the tires.
Yes. Oh, that would make you
I don't want to
so
hurt
happy.
anybody. I just
Right.
want to send a message
Yeah.
that, hey, who taught you how to drive? You have a license, but you still don't know the rules of the road. Does that make me angry? No. Do I want to jump out of a car and get into a road rage thing over somebody who
No.
sat at the red light when it turned green for 5 seconds and I'm impatient?
You just want to be able to yell at them in the car.
Now, when somebody honks at me within 1 second of a light turning green, now I've had times where I've thought about getting out of the car. But then again, I'm not heavily armed, so I don't want to I don't want to put myself in a bad position. And I've said that to many other people. Now, calm down. You don't want to put yourself in a position where nothing good could come of a situation. So that shows you that I have patience and understand that you may be man enough to do something stupid one time, but that little voice up here that you hear all the time, or the one that sits on your shoulder, that's the one that's got to scream. Don't do it. Calm down. It's really not
Just
worth it.
walk
There's
away.
Nothing good could come from any of
This
this.
is exactly my point about fans. Just walk away. Just ignore whatever it is because you don't need that kind. You don't need to bring that. You don't need to invite that stuff because you don't know the other person that is doing stupid shit. You don't know if they have a hair trigger something going on. You don't know what they're going to do to you. Do you really want to exacerbate it? Do you really want to poke the hornet's nest?
No, I don't.
Exactly.
I got bit by a hornet a couple months ago, and my hand still hurts. I may have been injected with some sort of, foreign virus of some kind. You see all the now that you see what else is now coming back into this country?
Oh, no.
What was the latest? Not typhus. We've seen that one. There was another one that I saw the other day on the streets of California, unfortunately, where a lot of people are living in squalid conditions.
The plague.
No, the plague is another one. No, there's a newer one. That's an old one. Every day they find a new ancient disease that's been pretty much eradicated
now
especially
it's back.
in countries like America where we have chemicals and medications to get rid of these diseases.
Well, I know the typhus.
That's not typhus. Not the plague.
Tuberculosis?
No, TB's been around for a long, long
Yeah.
time. That's why my initials are TB. I've been around for 60-something years now. Come on, Rob. Just ask yourself. El Bajito 42 says, just ask yourself, what would Antonio Brown do, Robin? Well,
He'd make a video.
Yeah, exactly. And you can't do what Antonio Brown would do because that would require an orchestrated effort by scores of people to put together videos for you.
A really nice, polished
Make
video.
up excuses for you before they even happen, and then release a video expecting everybody to say, yeah, you know what, you're right, man.
Antonio.
Yes, exactly.
El Bajito
Antonio.
3 says, is it vaginitis?
No, it's not vaginitis.
That's
never gone away.
Yeah, that's still
Thanks
there.
to the Kardashians and the Jersey Shore people.
Leprosy. Is it leprosy?
Leprosy. That's exactly right. Who came up with leprosy?
Drury's 1971.
It's leprosy.
Yeah, leprosy. Well, there's in third world countries, leprosy's still been
Exactly.
around.
That's my point is that there are still underdeveloped countries
And it's
where
back.
these diseases, but they stay there because those people don't move around.
I mean, do we really want to go back to the days
Leprosy?
of having leprosy colonies?
We can't even find affordable housing for poor people. How are we going to have leprosy colonies? We don't even have institutions for people who are really mentally disturbed and need help. Now we're going to have to put up leprosy colonies?
And for those of you who do not know what leprosy is, it's god awful because it makes your it affects from the outer limbs inward, and there's.
Are we going to have to do a health check segment today?
It makes your fingers and your toes, and then the rest of your body start to rot off bit by bit by bit.
I feel like I'm rotting off inside my hand recently. Could that be leprosy? I don't want to be a hypochondriac. But you know how people hear, hey, there's measles. Wait a minute, do I have the measles now? Wait a minute, leprosy? No wonder. What are the symptoms? That's probably what I have right now.
Oh, my God,
Do I go to CVS and get a leprosy shot and now along with my flu shot, which I won't get? I will not only not get another flu shot this year, which I've never gotten, and you can do whatever you want. I won't get a leprosy shot. I'll have to get I did get checked last year for what is it called? Hepatitis C with my blood test, and I don't have it. So you don't need to get checked. Once you get checked for hepatitis C, once in your life, especially if you're older, then you know you don't have it.
Well,
and you're not going to get it, by the way.
Let's hope anybody that you love or know does not get leprosy because it's not an easy thing to cure. It is curable, though. They did find the cure for it, and it's cured with a 6 to 12-month multi-drug therapy.
For leprosy?
Yeah.
Okay, what about the other C's? What about Kapler C?
You know, I've never heard of that one.
Well, that's a disease that plagues the Philadelphia Phillies dugout. See, Gabe Kapler.
I get it.
Kapler C.
I don't think there's
a cure for that
no,
either. Except the season ending sooner than later here in Philadelphia.
Now, we were talking about fans. Did you want to be fair,
Wait, I got to give him a roaring round of applause for that. I got to give that gentleman, I'm assuming it's a gentleman, and I ain't no gentleman. Now, because our buddy S. Falcon in Detroit says, when you snapped at Miss Robin on Friday night, how was that not angry makeup sex after that? It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a good question.
But I wasn't angry. There was temporary insanity. And it wasn't even
On
insanity.
your part.
Yeah, it's on my part,
Oh,
not
okay.
on Robin's part.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't know how often can you claim temporary insanity, but I'll go with it. I'll go with that.
Hey, listen, a lot of criminals claim that.
So wait a minute. If that happens again, can I go back at you going, stop, you're insane?
Yes.
Okay, just checking. Everybody heard that. Mark the tape. I can say, stop it. You're acting insane.
Now, that would be a microaggression on your part to go, because, insanity is not something to joke about, Robin. I would just usually say, I'm not going to tolerate your crap today. Exactly.
On my part.
Exactly.
I should have that. I should have that soundboard personally. I should have things like that just to go back at you.
Or I could be a calm and collected guy who's angry and go the Lawrence O'Donnell way.
There's a woman talking in my ear about something that has nothing to do with what we're doing here.
Exactly. Yes. That's pretty much what Robin does when I flip out every once in a while.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll play.
There's insanity in the control room tonight.
Yes. But most importantly,
stop the hammering!
Yes.
Well, as Falcon 39, he goes, if he snaps at you, Robin, you're going to get laid. Well, but I'm going to get laid anyway, so wait a minute. Whatever.
Bob from Valley Forge. How's your coccyx, Tony? It's pretty strong right now. I mean, it's, if everybody's fallen on their coccyx and you get either a bruise there, and it's painful.
It is.
You can't sit it.
For those
My
of you,
coccyx is good, thank you.
Your coccyx is also known, that's the tailbone, right?
Yes. And the tailbone's connected to the ass bone, and the ass bone's connected to the asshole.
Your
and the
tailbone is connected directly to your
your spine.
Front of your head.
I know, that was a joke. That was a play on the song.
It's actually connected to your eyes because you literally see stars. You will black out if you fall on it correctly and break it.
And then bed bugs, too. Watch out. You got to watch out for everything right now. So make sure when you get when you go into CVS, make sure you get all the necessary medications and shots for bed bugs, polio, which has been gone for a long, long time, thanks to Dr. Jonas Salk, as you well remember.
That's
Robin.
another one that's back. Polio.
Polio is back?
Yes. There was people that had polio. That's another one that I was reading about. I couldn't think of.
That's why people shouldn't go out anymore. That's why I stay locked down here in the wine cellar in South Philadelphia. So I don't want to. I'm the exact opposite. We're having fun last night at Landmark, Sunday, Toll Man Joe's, and now Thursday night. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Just when you thought the football frenzy of the early season was going to stop or subside, Thursday night, Harry Mays and I
to Screwballs.
We'll head up to Screwballs with a couple of Screwball hosts spitting valuable football knowledge.
Now,
that is a Thursday night before Thursday Night Football, and that show will be from 6 to 8 p.m. at Screwballs in King of Prussia, live on 97.3 ESPN and also on the Twitch stream live.
If you haven't caught any of the shows, you really should. The combinations of the people that have been on the show with you, they've all been fantastic, bringing great knowledge to every single show. They're all a little bit of a different flavor.
No, it's been fun. And I've
really
worked with new people for the last two shows. Obviously, A-Time was there last night, who I know and work with. But, we got John McMullen, an NFL insider. I've never actually physically worked with him.
Yeah, he loves you.
And Colin, and Colin, former Temple University
Colin
great.
Thompson.
Colin Thompson, who's a great kid. He had his girlfriend from Florida there last night.
Sydney.
And so we're spitting knowledge.
Yeah.
These guys have knowledge from covering sports. Colin has it from playing sports, being in the NFL with the Bears, and also he played for the New York Giants. So he knows. He knows the players. He knows the game. And I have a little fun. Eitan and I have fun. Harry and I will have fun. And that's what a pregame show should be. It shouldn't be a couple of nerds, geeks, spitting out numbers that don't matter. Our numbers matter. And we have fun doing it. So that's, if you want to listen to a different type of pregame show, we do it 3 times a week now. Colin Thompson.
Tony, you were mentioning, did you still want to play this video just to give fair and balance that you are not defending Eagles fans?
No, what do you mean fair and balance? I don't
because
defend. I defend fans. I don't defend bad fans.
Right.
It's really simple.
So
if you're an asshole, you do something stupid, I don't defend you. If you're a fan just being a fan, then why would I have a problem with you? I didn't have a problem with the Raider fans last night. I don't have a problem with any fan who acts like a fan. That's why they're called fans. Are you talking about the woman who broke it down?
Yes.
Now, everybody talks about the tailgate on Sunday. But luckily, there's people with cell phones everywhere now. This one comes to us via Philly DP. Wonder
Whoa.
what that means. He doesn't follow me on Twitter, though, and he only has. I'm assuming it's a he.
I don't know if I should assume what that means.
Well, it says at Philly DP, maybe that's his initials. And he was in the upper deck the other day.
Don Paulo, that's what it means. That's what we're going to go with.
Is that his name? I don't know what his
No.
name is.
I have no
It's
idea.
at Philly DP. He doesn't follow me. I just followed him because he put up a funny video. And now Barstool, see, that's what happens. You put up a video, Barstool grabs it, and then it becomes viral. And then maybe you get 100 followers. It's a good way to market yourself.
Absolutely.
So anyway, he posted this video from the stands to show you exactly how women who are much maligned as sports fans can go into a football game, watch what's transpiring before them, and not just do the typical, what happened there, hun? Or, no, this woman knew what was going on. She understood the offensive game plan of Doug Peterson in the first half of the game, and she was not really happy with Carson Wentz, the play calling, and, of course, the decisions. Let's go to the upper deck. Not the 700 level. Those people were assholes. Let's go to Lincoln Financial Field. First half, Eagles against your Washington Redskins. Is it not playing, Robin? Somebody asked me if that was my ex.
Jesus Christ, look downfield! Jesus Christ, Carson!
Buffer.
Now, this is a woman who's a little upset at Carson Wentz. A
Yes.
lot of people were early.
Not me.
But she's just a fan, and she's got, probably her son. He's got men around her, other women.
Jesus Christ, look downfield!
Go down.
The game clock in 1 minute 48 seconds, please. 148. The clock will start on
That was
the
the third fucking check off. Come on. That is not the initial fucking play. I am dead ass serious. I could not have. Someone needs to get the fuck open. They ran a screen. There's no way he's all the way over here on the screen.
She knows her formation. She knows the
Absolutely.
difference between a screen pass and a check down. And Carson Wentz isn't even captain check down, as many quarterbacks in the National Football League tend to be called. She knew that was a check down. How many times you have to change the play, Carson? Go downfield. Listen to that lady.
Brilliant.
Somebody asked me if that was my ex-wife. I said, no, my ex-wife can't break down games like that. She doesn't know the difference between a screen door, a bomb-a-rooski, or maybe a fumble. She would know a fumble because everybody gets excited over a fumble, Robin.
I do know that one. Except I'm not your ex-wife, so.
Anyway, that was fun. See, there was that woman causing a No, she was arguing with the people with her when they said it was a screen pass.
Yeah, I don't know. Who,
Get open. She was yelling at the receivers to get open.
I don't know who the kid is that's sitting next to her, if it's her son or whoever, but you could tell he's like, calm down, calm down.
Play action for real. Play action real says, she stole my camels and my flask earlier in the game. I recognize her. Wow. Now, she didn't appear drunk.
No.
She appeared passionate, as a fan is. She wasn't getting up, standing up, and blocking other people's view of the game. She was having a reasonable discussion of play calling early in a game where the Eagles came out and let the Washington Redskins march up and down the field on them.
Your idea of reasonable is different than
But she
many
wasn't
people.
getting in someone's face
No,
who disagreed
no,
with her.
you're
That's my
you're
point.
correct.
And by the way, fan bases don't always agree with each other in the stands. I believe there are some tapes of fans fighting other fans
Oh, yes.
of their own.
Yes.
You know, the term is,
They turn on each other.
they're one of us. What are you doing? No, those fans sometimes turn on each other too, and I believe there's a lot of video of that available in all cities.
Oh, yeah.
Fans just don't pick on other fans wearing different colors. If you say something they don't like and it's deep into the game and you've been at a tailgate at 7 a.m. pounding natty lights all day, sometimes, you're not going to disagree. Or as we like to say,
sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Yeah,
exactly.
EKT 8750. She's still a meathead. I would have to agree.
Mikey misses Hairplex. She's a keeper. I got to get those digits, yo. I got to get those digits.
So, for I know that, like, a lot of families are used to having that very loud, brash amongst each other as well.
But she was with those people.
I know.
It wasn't like she turned to some stranger
I mean,
and started
but
arguing
what I'm
about
saying
the
is
play
that
selection.
Somebody that's not used to being around that, it's overwhelming.
I can
Like,
assure you the people near her were used to being around that, Robin.
That's Falcon 39. She drinks White Claw. No, I can almost guarantee you she drinks Bud Light. That's what I'm going
See,
with.
later on in the
Bud
game,
Light.
though, the kid next to her gave her a Snickers bar, and she became a nice church mom, church lady.
Yes.
She stopped cursing. And I'm sure a lot of Eagles fans, the cursing went the other way in the second half.
Yes.
When they came from behind and took the lead. And then if they gambled on the game, then the cursing resumed when the
Right at the
backdoor
very
cover
end, yes.
occurred by the Washington Redskins. So that's the emotion of going to a sporting event. You know, you ride the high, hey, we went right down the field and scored. Like the Raiders fans, I went right down the field and scored. You go crazy. Then when something bad happens, it's an emotional roller coaster, Robin. Mm-hmm. That's what makes sports fun. But at the end of the day, to quote that quote that I hate using, it's just a game. It's just a game. Until you realize your team's not going to make the postseason, like the Philadelphia Phillies or maybe the New York Mets. Then you just either quit and say, screw this, or you keep going and saying, it's still going to happen. For example, the Phillies last night. Aaron Nola, he was riding high in April and May and June and July, and then all of a sudden, he is now fading faster than a Labor Day tan in Fishtown. That's how fast he's fading. You get it, Robin? You have a tan from the Labor Day, and now all of a sudden it's a week later, and your tan starts. Unless you have a fake tan, like what's-her-face on the cover of a magazine.
Doesn't that fade as well, though?
The fake tan?
Yeah.
No, that washes off. When you have a real tan, the one where you actually go out in the sun and destroy your skin, and it stays nice and tan for a while, then you start peeling, that fades usually by the middle of September. Like middle of games, most fans fade because they've had too much and they really shouldn't even be there. They should go home and go to bed. But anyway, enough about that. So meanwhile, for people wondering, I got this great stat on Carson Wentz on the internet today. God, thank God for the internet. Thank you, Al Gore. I don't thank you enough. Carson Wentz, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, on third down against Washington on Sunday, he was 12 of 13, 197 yards, 3 touchdowns on third downs on Sunday. I'd say that's pretty good. Now, obviously, they got off to a slow start, and that's not good. But those are spectacular numbers. Third down, 12 of 13, 197 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's pretty damn good. Meanwhile, we'll get a lot of stuff going on here today. Don't forget, it's Stump Jose on Taco Tuesday, coming up at 2:15 in about a half hour from right now as we do this live every day. That's the one advantage of doing a live show every day. We don't have to tape it and then go back and edit it and then play it next week.
Well, hopefully it's at 2:15 because I have not been able to get a hold of Jose yet.
No, wait a minute. He's had 3 consecutive bye weeks.
Yeah, but he works a job, so I'm not going to rip him until.
But no, we knew. We talked to him on Friday night on the End of the Night show, and he said he would be back Tuesday, same bat time, same bat station. You know what I'm saying?
And we also have a What's in the Box segment today.
That's right. We have product.
What's in the box?
The box has not been, they're not been coming. Well, they have been coming, but it's usually Robin ordering crap or Luigi stuff coming here.
Luigi.
He's got a box upstairs. What's the matter with these people? You know, and people are now, everybody's posting the video of that woman, a lovely Eagles fan there. Tony, come on. You don't think there's other fans in other cities that do the same thing? Are you a sexist or a misogynist, Mr. Wondrous ATX?
Well, I'm trying to think of what she would be like.
I'm watching the video. The fans around her are on their phones. The dudes are like checking their Tinder accounts. She's not bothering anybody. The guy who took the video was sitting probably 4 seats away from her.
But she's obviously loud enough that she's drawing attention to herself.
You know what? A lot of fans are screaming.
I know.
And guess what? Not everybody hears what the person in the next section is saying. Unless they get up and make a scene or throw something or do something stupid. So now that person's going to be made fun of all over the internet as some sort of a vile, foul-mouthed fan. Well, she is. But she's a fan. So I could play the game, you want to criticize a woman who's as passionate about football as the guy is? I could play that card, Robin. Does that woman know? She knows checkdowns. She saw the Carson Wentz checkdowns. So we're going to get mad at her because in her
no.
own little world there.
I
Again, she
didn't
didn't grab
say
the PA mic
Right.
and start screaming it to the entire stadium.
And she's not throwing things.
Exactly.
Or,
She's not even holding a beer.
Yes.
She didn't even turn to her the guy next to her and say, "Here, hold my beer." She didn't say, "Come at me, bro."
Yeah, no, she didn't do any of that. Oh, just really quick, because for those of you, we need to go over the Jose rules ahead of time so that people can prepare. Just
All
in
right, so
case
we do
they
the
want to
rules
play.
right now?
Yeah, let's do the rules right now.
You really want to do the rules? People will forget the rules in a half an hour, Robin.
I know, but then
we have
go
a
over
short
the-
attention span
we'll go
society
over them
here.
again, but some people might want to prepare some questions so that they can participate because they are listening in and they want to know how to play and what kind of prizes they can win.
All right, let's do the rules again now. In case you missed it, a month ago we started because Jose always calls in and always spits amazing knowledge.
Like without looking it up.
Yeah,
He's
he'll just say something and he'll bring up the roster of the 1976 Atlanta Braves out of nowhere without looking it up, without Googling it.
So we thought it would be fun to do a Stump Jose segment.
Correct.
Where people can call in and see if they can have a question that will stump Jose.
And we did it for fabulous, and now we're doing it for fabulous prizes.
Right.
In
Now-
case you're just joining us, you're new to the show.
The first time we did it, though, we realized a mistake of ours that we left it kind of open.
No,
to
we had
what
wise
kind of-
guys. It's like people know how to, we know the rules, but you're still going to try to slip one in and break the rules. Whether it's your taxes, whether it's speeding, drinking, and driving, you know the rules in advance. Then you got to have that one wise guy. That one wise guy who goes probably by the name of Dean from Clearwater, who figures, I'm going to slip in here and throw Jose a Mickey. Slip a Mickey into the drink. You know what that means?
Yes, I do.
Unfortunately, it's happened too many times, and luckily people are in jail as a result now. But you don't throw out like who was on the cover of Sports Illustrated in 1949.
Yeah, because that's not going to be
No.
even close to his wheelhouse. And his wheelhouse is humongous big.
Yes.
It's just that he does have a wheelhouse, and we're not trying to, like...
Exactly. Stumping Jose doesn't mean like trying to be an asshole. Don't be the guy at the tailgate who's an asshole.
So here are the rules, and because there's going to be a lot of options for you with these questions, but they do have to be in his wheelhouse. So the questions that you can ask Jose, don't ask what year did somebody play first base. I would
no, he would know that.
No, but
not
the
year.
year.
Yeah,
Not
the
the
year
year.
because he
He
had
would
one of the
know-
questions right. He was off by a year.
Right.
I don't remember what happened last year.
Exactly.
Okay. I've covered 30 Super Bowls. Am I going to be able to tell you who played in Super Bowl 23 without looking it up? No, because it's not something that's top of mind awareness. Even NFL experts don't know that.
Exactly. So no dates. You're not going to
Exactly.
ask dates. No like magazine type questions or celebrity gossip type questions because he's not interested in that kind of stuff, and that's not
But
something
this
they
is
would
not
retake.
this is not rigged.
No,
we
it's
don't
not.
tell him the questions in advance.
No.
He doesn't look them up. The thing about Jose, this is one thing we've known for years. You throw something at him, he doesn't go into Google real fast.
No.
He doesn't get on the computer. That's what's amazed us
pulls
about
it
him
out of his
over the
head.
years.
So it's the four major sports: basketball, football, hockey, and
Baseball.
baseball. Sorry,
Not in that particular
not
order.
particular order. And so yes on rostered questions, yes on team questions, yes on player questions. But
By the
and you
way,
can kind of go to town on
Cujo
this.
knows, right? So, Jose, what was actually in the Eagle fans' coffin? No, not questions like that.
Yeah.
We know what was not on the Eagle fans' coffin, and that was a disgraceful mocking of Sean Taylor, who lost his life a couple of years ago. That was not on the coffin,
was
even though
definitely-
people will still run with that, knowing the facts that it wasn't a Sean Taylor jersey.
It was not.
But anyway,
No, it was a jersey that on the front of it, it didn't even have. People were saying, "Well, it had his number." No, it didn't. It had "Playing like it's 1991"
Yes.
on the front of a jersey.
exactly.
That's what it was.
I don't believe Sean Taylor, the late great Sean Taylor, was playing in 1991. For you keeping
And last
score.
time we checked, numbers did not consist of 4 numbers.
Listen, Robin, people will say whatever they want. People who have narratives and want to make something true because they want it to be true, I don't deal with those clowns. I deal with facts. I've made mistakes, but when I make a mistake, I clear them up. But facts matter. Facts matter, and that's what I always go with, and I always have tried.
Taylor War 1991. Yeah, try that again. So
he was joking,
I
obviously.
know he's joking. So again, no dates, no magazines, no
and
like,
no multiple choice questions for Jose either. I'm not going to give him a multiple choice question. Again, you can do what you want, but it's not about I'm going to come something so obscure nobody would get this. That's all. We're just going to have fun with this.
Yes, it's
and by the
fun.
way, even you, if you stump him, you get a prize.
Yeah.
And Jose, by the way, has the most burden to be good because he has to keep winning week after week to get his fabulous grand prize picked especially for him.
And he's going to like it. And he has chosen not to know what it is.
Exactly. In fact, his prize package is building.
Is it?
Yes, we're adding more and more things.
See, I
you
only
can't
know
give a guy who's putting himself up every week for ridicule, tumult, and people disrespecting his greatness. The people who stump him will get a prize. But when people hear if you stump him, you get a prize, what do? They immediately go to something to try to trip a guy up and make him look bad. And that if you get your jollies trying to make somebody look bad, you've come to the wrong show, my friends. You take that to the parking lot. You take that to the tailgate wars. And you go from tant to tant and from awesome tailgate to the next not so awesome tailgate, and you make the final decisions. We don't play that shit on this show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no college. No college. It has to be NFL.
The four major sports.
Yeah, NFL,
NBA,
MLB, and NHL.
Exactly right.
Boo.
And no multiple sports. It's one question. How hard is it for you? That's why I hate doing the rules in advance. You ask him one question. He either gets it right or wrong. It's that simple. When you try to complicate the rules and you have the fine print underneath, just like the Publishers Clearinghouse bullshit. You get inundated. All you do is enter one time, and then they send you mail every day. And Robin gets this. Oh, well, you know what? If you order a magazine, maybe you have a better chance to win. Has anybody who's never ordered a magazine ever won the Publishers Clearinghouse contest?
Yes.
How do you know that, Robin? Because they told you so?
No, they have stats.
Yeah, you believe it?
No, I mean, they're independent. Do
you not think that the people who order gazillions of magazines thinking that each time you order another magazine that you'll never read...
do not change.
Yeah, right.
No, the odds don't change whether you order or not. I think I'm actually saying what you're trying to talk...
I'm saying is that everybody has to look at the fine print on every contest.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have... betting sites, they've had to pay people back going to the fine print to describe, hey... You know what? Yeah, we had a mess up here because Chapter 7 of the unwritten rules are the rules that are really in fine print. Like when you sign a contract for a car or anything or an appliance and then you think everything's covered. Well, no, that has to have like 17 pages now if you do a prenup. You ain't getting away with a boilerplate prenup these days. If you're wealthy, you better have like the Cheesecake Factory menu size prenup nowadays. If you're people with money.
And then it depends on what state you get married in, because then there's already unwritten rules.
Exactly. Well, no, there's no unwritten rules on this show. We already laid it out. We'll judge it. By the way, we're not giving away a new car or a house or $1,000 a week for the rest of your life and then $1,000 a week for the rest of your family's life. We're having fun here. You know what I'm saying?
Jose, Swedish Chef 2019 says, can Jose phone a friend if he doesn't know?
No, he doesn't. There's no phoning a friend.
Because a friend would have a chance to go look it up on the internet.
Exactly. Jose has no chance to look it up.
Jose has
you have
to
the
have
advantage
it all on his
because
own.
you can come up with your question. And how many questions will we take today, Robin, for Jose?
2.
2 questions. So we're going to take 2 calls at 2:15. We've just spent 15 minutes explaining the rules. So when the contest starts at 2:15 in about 18 minutes from right now, have your questions ready. Put on your thinking cap, put on your hair pieces, and put on your ninja scarves and your ninja headbands because we're not going to explain this thing anymore. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired with this contest. Why is giving stuff away such a big deal? And no, Jose cannot do a curbside shout-out. You've seen these shows where you get somebody off the street and you bring them in. Hey, can you help me answer this question? This is just a simple game for simple people. And, of course, Steve in Detroit says, I'm not asking. This game is rigged. This game is rigged by a guy who probably goes to carnivals and thinks he's going to put the ping pong ball in that jar, or he's going to make a basket on a basket that's just the same size, the rim that's the same size as the basketball. Those games are rigged, my friends. We don't rig anything. There's no switching in the back room on this show. We're having a stupid, fun game involving one of our favorite people. I mean, Jesus.
And it's one of your no, I can't say it. Tony will rip me. You're the listeners' favorite people. I almost said your guys's, and then Tony would rip me.
Of course, because that would be something that would make me angry, because I hate things that don't make any sense, Robin. Well, except this show. I love this show. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. But meanwhile,
I want winners.
do prizes have to be picked up in person? Absolutely not.
Nope.
We will even pay the postage and handling.
Amazing. What a deal.
What a deal. Provided you, throw a couple bits our way to handle postage and handling.
Well, we're getting bits.
Well, we're getting bits. We'll trade bits for postage and handling. How's that?
That's
absolutely free.
Absolutely trade.
Now, we got a lot of other stuff to get to today. We've got a new baseball game, not the Phillies and Atlanta Braves game. Just when you thought there weren't enough ways to gamble, Robin, I saw this story this morning, and this will make Luigi happy. This will make a lot of people who just don't have enough avenues to bet on sports. Major League Baseball, believe it or not, is now the first major sports league in America that will come up with lottery games, scratch-off lottery games. And I can hear it now. Fill the pen, because those games that look like they're just Pennsylvania only. They're not.
Right.
They're a national game.
Right.
There's one company that does it, and then they take the ads and they make them Pennsylvania, like Gus, the stupid groundhog in Pennsylvania.
Can't stand
but those
him
games
so
are all
much.
over the country. There's one company that does this, or one major company that lotteries in Pennsylvania, New Jersey,
Right.
Delaware.
They
You
just
name the
print
state, Arizona.
Slightly different ones.
It's going to be called Baseball Bucks. And Major League Baseball licensed and team league markings will be on. And guess what? It's a daily lottery game. So you go in. Now, I don't know when they're going to release it because the story's just breaking this morning. So you'll be able to get a scratch-off lottery ticket every day. And then Major League, they're not doing it this year. First of all, in Philadelphia, why would anybody buy a Baseball Bucks scratch-off lottery ticket knowing that the Phillies baseball bucks were poorly spent in the offseason and they ain't going to get jack as a result? So I think Philly would be a bad place to try to start this right now, although it's supposed to be at every Major League Baseball city. So what they're going to do next year, based on what I've garnered from this story, is that every day, because they know the schedule every day in advance, they know who's playing every day. So there's going to be a scratch-off ticket with the games that are going to be played every single day. And then you'll have to go on and pick the teams and then scratch off the right one you think's the right one. So it's a game of chance. It's not like your knowledge about baseball or you're betting on the games themselves based on who you think's going to win. You pick up a scratch-off ticket just like you buy a regular one now, and because you're a baseball fan, and it may have the Phillies logo on it in Philly or the Pirates logo on, or you get the Rams, the Yankees, the Mets, the Marlins, except nobody's going to be there to buy them at Marlins Park. Marlins fans will buy them outside the stadium and then pick other games.
Well,
so that's going to be it next year.
So here's one for the Astros.
So we have pictures of it now.
There are a couple. So this is a $5 scratch-off. Houston Astros enter for a chance to win a trip to the MLB World Series. And
so they're out
those are
already. Okay. Because, again, I didn't see all the details. I just saw that baseball's the first sport to do this.
Yep.
You would think the NFL, which already has 72,000 gambling sites and fantasy sites, would jump on this, especially because so many people play scratch-off lottery tickets. I used to do it too, but then I never win anything.
Here's one for the Texas.
So
Texas Rangers.
The Texas Rangers, they don't have a Phillies one yet, do they?
Uh-huh.
They do?
They do. Hold on.
Because the story this morning made it sound like they must have announced it and had these things already ready to go. So anyway, the point is, you got to match real games, what's on the ticket, and you think it's about knowledge. It's not about knowledge. This is still a game of chance, not a game of knowledge.
Oh, hold on a second. This one for the Phillies, it says this game is closed. So they had some back in 2011.
Yeah, no shit. Their season is closed.
No. So this particular one was back in 2011. So the Phillies had some way before other people did, and now this other company's taking it over.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting.
The Phillies were going to have the flip-off games, where fans who go to the game expecting a chance to make the wild card usually leave by flipping off Gabe Kapler and the Phillies organization every night at Citizens Bank Park. So they got the flip-off game going on right now, not the scratch-off game. More ways to lose your money. And listen, it's legal. You're going to bet on it, right? Scratch off. They're not scratch and sniff, though. The Phillies should come. That's a great one, Dean. Phillies should come up with a scratch and sniff card. And it would have, like, instead of having games and just have, like, all the players on there. So you have players, all the 25-man roster.
Yeah.
You can't do it September because I don't know if they'd have enough for 30 spaces.
Okay.
Because the rosters have been expanded. So you have the 23-man roster and each Phillies player on there. And then each day you have to guess who's going to stink. And then you scratch off that player's face, and it smells like ass. And, so somebody will be, people will be picking the same guys a lot of times. Like Andrew Knapp, I'm sure will be scratched on a lot of days about which player will play like ass that night. But there's a lot of choices. It could be a bullpen pitcher, right? This is a great idea.
It's kind of like the Harry Potter jelly beans. You never know what you're going to get.
Exactly. Let's see. I should be coming up with lottery games.
Yes. One can smell like flowers or cologne, and another will smell like ass.
Because, now when you go into a supermarket, you want to you get the glades, the glade things to make your house smell nice.
Yes.
And they have a little scratch-off panel.
Yeah.
And you want to smell what it smells like, right?
Uh-huh.
And everybody does it. You got a little scratch. You got to have scratch and sniff. We live in a scratch and sniff world. I even do it with women. I want to make sure. I get a little scratch and sniff. I want to make sure that's clean. There's videos about that.
Yeah, scratch and sniff. Sometimes may be good. Sometimes.
You are looking live.
No, not that one.
You are smelling line. That's a great contest.
It is. I like it.
And which Philly fan or a lot of other teams
it would
fans
be so popular.
would have a chance every day to scratch off the one player you think will stink it up tonight?
Brilliant.
And then, of course, Gabe Kapler will always have the coconut oil smell in there.
Smell like coconut.
Even though he may
Except
stink.
that's good.
And a lot of fans think he stinks a lot of nights with his
know.
decision-making.
So I don't know if he could do that, though, because if it's always coconut, I like the smell of coconut.
Yeah. And his coconut smells good. Gabe Kapler, not so much.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Now that's a game.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Now, can you rig that contest too? I don't know.
Charlie Manuel would smell like Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba. I love that, man. As long as it doesn't smell like chewing tobacco. And then you'd have, like, different scents. You'd have, like, chewing tobacco. Everything doesn't have to smell like ass, Robin.
Unfortunately, chewing tobacco smells good prior to it being chewed.
No, not that. You're thinking of pipe, like Meerschaum bowl pipe smoking. You're thinking of pipe tobacco that has the cherry in it and
prior
stuff.
to it being smoked, it smells really good. There's, like, the cognac flavor and cherry.
The John Kruk Square would smell like Copenhagen and Natty Light.
Rebel Man
Skull,
9311
brother, skull.
says one of them has to taste like smells like Teen Spirit.
Yes.
Speaking of which.
Yes, I have that all ready to go, Robin.
Speaking of which.
Now I want to say, let's get back into uplifting. Nothing said uplifting on this date. September 10th, 1991. Robin, where were you on September 10th, 1991?
I was in California.
Were you grungy?
No, I was not.
That's when the whole grunge thing started, yo.
Yo.
Up in Seattle.
I was newly married.
Nirvana, bro. Smells like Teen Spirit. Such an uplifting song, too. Especially when the first line is... Load up all guns, bring your friends. It's fine to lose and pretend. This song's been this song has been declared one of the greatest songs ever written. One of the most iconic songs in music history. Now, I was never a big Nirvana or grunge fan. It's just all depressing shit to me. But this is the date that Smells Like Teen Spirit was released, September 10th, 1991.
Tony, we have breaking news.
I said Seattle. That's where grunge started.
We have breaking
breaking
news via the chat room. Oakland 2068 is breaking this news to us, saying that Oakland is getting a new football team. Marshawn Lynch is a co-owner of the Oakland Panthers, the newest franchise in the Indoor Football League. They will play a 14-game season starting on March 2020 with their 7 home games at the Oakland Arena, the former home of the Golden State Warriors.
Yes, the former home of the Warriors, the Oracle Arena.
Yes.
Did they take Oracle off the name of that thing?
I think so.
Now that the season's over and
Yeah.
the Warriors aren't playing anymore and they're moving into downtown San Francisco? Yeah, indoor football, does it work? Now, it's not Arena League because the Arena League's like 6 teams now.
Yeah.
And they're all playing within a reasonable radius, so they only have to fly to the games because they're not making a lot of money. But anyway, that's fine. Will it work? They should call them the Oakland Skittles. I mean, if Marshawn Lynch, how about the Oakland, I'm all about that action, boss?
Yeah.
There should be funnier names like that.
And R. Fitz-G. Nobody cares.
Some people will care.
There's some people.
Their arena team did all right. They were pretty good. Remember when San Jose had an arena team and Tampa had an arena team? Scottsdale, Arizona, the Rattlers were a popular team.
I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. I went to a Rattlers game. It was so much fun. It was it was like football with a party atmosphere.
Yeah,
but
and Arizona, San Jose, Philly for a while when Bon Jovi got involved. And Tampa. Those were big arena football markets.
Yeah.
Because they had great coaches, the games were exciting, and you can bet on them.
They were quick games. They had, because it was all indoors, the sound was fantastic, so they were always playing like rock music. And my favorite was the entrances for the teams. They usually had like
Nirvana?
No. They would have like guys coming in on motorcycles.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It was smoke, and it was pretty fun.
Let me get a little bit more Nirvana.
Nirvana.
Come on, man. I'm chilling now.
Cujo knows. Whatever. Give me the indoor fistball league.
Yeah, I'd go to an indoor fistball league game before I'd go to any of that stuff. I mean, we got the XFL starting. They're trying to field teams.
Yeah.
They'll have Skittle colors for uniforms. See, that's great marketing. Here, we're trying to help Marshawn Lynch, who was last seen at one of his camps for kids this summer. He had a football camp for kids, and apparently he was scolding one kid and got into it with a mother for not using his son. He pays money to Marshawn Lynch to go to a football camp, and then apparently things got ugly. And then Marshawn Lynch had to refund the money. The lady was upset.
Parents, man. It's those helicopter parents.
Yeah,
You need to play Geoff more.
Did you like this song, Robin?
No. I was never a Nirvana fan.
Not even Nirvana. Just grunge in general.
Yeah.
It's just, people call me angry. I'm not angry.
No,
this was angry and depressing music.
Yeah, just this
It's why Starbucks opened on every corner in Seattle back in the 90s.
teenage
If it wasn't for
angst.
this song, there would not be a Starbucks within every 15 feet in America. And now there is. And it's a caffeinated, over-caffeinated environment in which we live, Robin. That's why I recommend 1 cup a day, first thing in the morning. And maybe late at night if you're out and you have a nice dinner and then some dessert. But don't order cappuccino at night. That is a major Italian-American violation. You know that, right, Robin? You go to Italy.
I don't care.
You go to Italy and you go into a gelateria or you go into a coffee shop after noon and you have the audacity to order a cappuccino, they will give you the death ray eye. They will almost literally pick you up and throw you out into the streets.
I know, but you know what? It's worth it to me because I can drink a really good cappuccino any time of the day.
I can too. But
So,
I learned in Italy, they don't play that shit. Will they make you one? Of course. But you're not supposed to have one. Because you know why? They're so busy because people in Italy, and they do it in France and other countries where they drink a lot of coffee, they go in for lunch breaks. They go in and get an espresso, a double espresso.
I know.
So the baristas, they don't have time to be making all these double latte, extra foam crap. They're cranking out espressos, double espressos. People walk in, and in their neighborhoods, everybody knows one another. So the barista knows Giovanni's coming in. He wants his double shot of espresso. He doesn't want foam. He doesn't want all the other crap that people now go into Starbucks and stand 15 minutes in line waiting to have their name called with an embarrassing array of different pumpkin spices and lotions and potions and all the other crap that people put in their coffee now. It's an outrage.
And no half calf,
Half calf, half
extra
ass.
comb, soy latte, organic soy latte.
Grunge was worse than disco.
Yeah.
Come at me. Come at
Most
me, bro.
disco is like happy music.
Exactly. You asked me, and now a lot of people may disagree. Cujo says you can't tell me grunge was worse than disco. And yes, Starbucks is some white people shit.
It's some. I won't.
It's
say
white people shit. Let's be honest. I mean, brothers go into Starbucks too, but they usually go in to use the Wi-Fi and then get thrown out and then sue the city and get a couple $100,000.
Doesn't matter who you are.
Those are the smartest guys.
wasted.
Those guys that went into the Starbucks here in Philly, and then were told to leave because they weren't buying anything, and then wound up with $200,000 in cash and prizes. Those are the smartest Starbucks customers ever. Let me give them another roaring round of applause. Rebel Man 9311. You couldn't get any angrier and sullen than Eddie Vedder and Pearl Jam. Well, that's true. You got Nirvana, Pearl Jam. These guys they weren't necessarily angry. They were just like depressed. Everything, they didn't really scream. It was just sort of this the monotonous sense of desperation and despair.
Yeah, it's not pretty. It's not pretty.
No. It's ridiculous. They were good. I'm not saying the bands weren't bad. Of course, that's where grunge was born in Seattle. You can disagree with me. I'm not a grunge fan. I'm sorry. I'd rather listen to disco than grunge. You know why? Because disco is going to make me happy. It's not going to make you happy?
I kind of love disco. I told you.
I actually went to Studio 54, the original
fond
one.
memories of disco.
I was working in New York in the 80s when Studio 54 was the rage.
Uh-huh.
And I actually had a connection where I could get in line and not have to stand in a long line.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Was there just a line of people
Yes.
doing cocaine and
No, not in the streets. That's
no,
now.
not in the street, but in the studio.
Of course.
Was it just everywhere?
Not everywhere. Come
Was
on,
it-
Robin. What do you think? Everybody was a coke addict that went to Studio 54?
Yes.
Not everybody. Just like not everybody that goes to a tailgate's a drunk or a racist.
Okay.
Not
Just
everybody
checking.
that went to a club did drugs or cocaine. Why do you have to generalize, Robin?
Because, I've heard stories of Studio 54. I don't know anybody besides you that actually attended. So I was wondering.
By the way, I
And
never
you see
did cocaine.
Did you see a fine dusting on all the tables there?
No, that's usually in the bath. They went in the bathroom and did it.
Okay.
Or they would snort off of like a chick's ass or another dude's ass. Because that was a different time, Robin.
Yeah.
And trust me, I never, ever snorted cocaine. I didn't like the way it smelled. I mean, it was just ridiculous. See, right now I'm getting my nose is clogging up just thinking about cocaine.
Yeah, and I have never snorted cocaine either, but I do know what it tastes like because I kissed somebody that had just done some, and I was like really grossed out by it.
Shame. Shame.
It was nasty. It's like bitter. It's like, oh. Very
Now
nasty.
I have to play a good disco song. Can you think of? There's so many.
Donna
good
Summer, anything
well,
by
obviously
her.
Donna Summer.
Uh,
Could have played Disco Duck by Rick Dees, but
whoops.
I'm still
That's
playing
not disco.
Uncle Cracker here. No, I
Yeah.
got to find the song first, Robin.
Anything by Donna Summer, Irene Cara, or
This is a good. Let's play this one. This
Okay.
this is a great disco song.
or ABBA. Yeah, ABBA was also disco.
Nah, ABBA was like sachet disco. It wasn't hardcore. That was like yacht rock disco.
I've never heard the
Yacht
term
rock.
sachet disco. What the hell is that? Yes.
Nah, this was okay, but this wasn't the.
This is great disco music.
This was a better song.
Oh,
This-
Village People.
Well, of course.
Anything by the Village People, major disco.
And you know what's great about the Village People is that everybody still plays them.
Yes. See
Everybody
what and makes you happy. They're happy songs. This is not.
Now this is demo lights. This is a slow jam at the disco club.
Yeah. Yeah, Gloria. Gloria was a good disco song.
The hockey song?
Yes, that was disco.
You want me to play Gloria now?
No,
boy?
somebody was just saying that was a good disco song.
Or Gloria Gaynor. Do they mean
Gaynor?
Gloria the song or Gloria Gaynor by Laura Branigan?
But I think that the epitome of disco is probably the Village People.
Macho Man?
Anything.
See, this cranks up. It was a slow tempo, and then it builds up into an up-tempo number. Casey would like this, because you could come out of a Dead Dog dedication with the intro, and then finally start cranking it up once everybody gets over the Dead Dog dedication. Ponderous.
Great lungs.
Ponderous.
Now, Kool and the Gang wasn't really disco. That was
there was a lot of disco. The Tramps were disco. Philly's own The Tramps.
Boogie Wonderland, that was good disco.
And I love me some Tramps, as long as they're clean.
Now, Cujo Knows asked, which was our favorite Village person character? The Indian, by far, because that yodel thing that he did, I don't think I've heard anybody else be able to do that. Whatever that was.
This was a disco song that everybody, every club, not only had to play, but still plays to this day. You know why, Robin?
We're getting a shout out from Malik2123. Hello, Tony and Miss Robbins.
Burn that mother up. Burn.
Burn.
Tell me when you hear this song, you don't get some pep in your step, some glide in your side, baby.
That's Falcon 39. I turned down the volume. Stop being such a stick in the mud, that's Falcon 39.
I don't blame his Detroit Lions shit the bed the other day against Arizona.
Oh, you're
He's
saying-
still a bitter and battered Detroit fan. Outrage. Robin, it doesn't sound like it's loud enough.
Oh, sorry. I'm turning it up.
Turn that bitch up. I hear somebody say, hey, it's a Disco Taco Tata Tuesday here. The Tony Bruno.
Bruno Fever on the...
Where's Danny Terrio when I need him the most?
Well, now it's 2:20 now.
Is it really?
I'm gonna try. Let me try one of the many.
Have we heard from
phone
Jose?
numbers. I will let you continue talking.
Well, I'm going to continue to play some of your favorite disco songs from the 70s and 80s.
Oh, wait.
And today. This is one of my favorite all-time songs, Robin. Can you please crank it up? It's Candy State. Good cha-cha song. Young Hearts Run Free, baby.
What's the sense in sharing this one?
Oh, Dean. Fly, Robin, Fly.
Yeah.
By the... Was that Sister Sledge?
What? Fly? No, that was Fly, Robin, Fly was not Sister Sledge, Robin. That's
Who
a
was
bad
that?
knowledge.
No, who was that?
That was,
Oh, the Silver Connection.
was it the Silver Connection?
Who was that by?
Fly, Robin, Fly?
I think it was...
It is the Silver Connection. You are exact. Let me give you a roaring round of applause, Robin. I didn't know you had it in you, so to speak.
It's not often. It's not often. But when I have it, I have it.
All right, crank it up. This is my favorite part of this song. Oh, young hearts, run free. I feel like the Geeter on Geeter Gold Radio. Hey, all the young teens out there. Just remember, man, you get choice, not chance at the holiday dance. Big Boss with the big hot sauce. I'll be at Shebu Ballroom this Sunday night, right before the Eagles game.
It's high time now, just one crack at life. Who wants to live it in trouble and strife? My mind must be free.
Steve in Detroit. Well, this is a better segment than sports trivia.
I'm gonna love you for the rest of my
I wonder if Bob Pantano's got to still be playing this over there in Jersey every Thursday night or whenever he does the show, right? Saturday night dance party.
reservation is what's really going on today. Say I'm gonna turn loose 1,000 times a day, but how can I turn loose when I just can't break away? Can never be hung up like my man and me.
My man and me.
You and me. Ooh, young heart, to yourself be true. Don't be no fool when love really don't love you.
I'll be doing this at the fabulous Woodbine Inn on Friday night, ladies and gentlemen, on Route 73. This makes me want to head to Adelphia on Saturday night, man, with Bob Pantano and pick up some Cougars. Crank it up, Robin.
And now, Tony, Jose, I just talked to him. He's walking downstairs right now. He's calling back on a different phone, and he is going to be ready.
I don't want him to rush now. I want him to calm down and be all composed. I don't want him to be out of breath. I don't want him to look like the Phillies reliever that ran in Jared Hughes and then go right into the game and not be ready to play. He's got to be ready.
Correct.
And while we're waiting for him to call back, let me play a little Silver Connection for you, Robin. Good violin in the song.
This is my song. The lyrics were so amazing on this.
Oh, yeah. They don't write songs like this anymore, Robin.
They must have really just worked so hard on these lyrics.
Mikey misses hair plug. I saw Jose. He ain't running anywhere. We may have to do an all disco Friday night. Bring in the disco ball and the lights.
Well, let's not start sucking each other's dicks.
Well, we don't do that until later in the show.
You want a disco ball so bad.
I know. I need to put a disco ball on the...
Seriously.
I need to put a disco ball. We don't need a big-ass one.
You've been talking about a freaking disco ball for years.
I used to have a black light, a disco ball. I had all that stuff. But Robin had to get rid of it all.
No, we still have a damn black light. We just don't have it here.
We need it in the bedroom. I need to be checking stuff out. I'm not sure what's going on in there anymore, especially in the guest room. This is the best part right here.
This is the best part?
Nah, it's just...
All right. So, for those of you, do we need to go over the rules again for anybody that's calling in?
Now, is that Jose calling in first? Or is that somebody calling in who wants to play the game? Let's play the game, Robin. Air violin is impressive. Thank you. Thank you. So we have a contestant online. We had to get the actual the guest of honor, Jose, because it's Stump Jose on Taco Tuesday. It rhymes. It makes sense. We got fabulous prizes. You see what else we also have in the prize pack? What did you do with the other thing, Robin? What did you do with my gritty poster? You took it out of the shot, so to speak. This is the latest thing we've added to our prize package collection. It's a collector's item. It's done by our good friend. Let me hold it up so that the other camera can see it. I want to get it in the camera shot, right? You don't have that camera hooked up?
I don't have that camera on right now. Hang on.
Can you just go turn to that shot? Okay, not instantly. I just want people to see it.
You just need to...
I'll keep it right here. Let's freeze it right there. This is one of the prizes in the prize pack, thanks to our good friend, the Word of Art, the Great.
Angle it just a little bit because there's the light shining off of
What's the angle of the dangle? Let me put it in front of this camera so people can see it better. Can you see it better on that one?
Jose, are you ready?
So there it is. It's the very latest gritty, just done by Dan Duffy at Real Art of Words. You can purchase it on his website, Art of Words at Real Art of Words, or just Art of Words on Facebook, artofwords.com. He's got all kinds of great stuff. And this is the latest, gritty. Everybody loves him some gritty. They hated him. Now everybody loves him. Whoever's in that suit, that dude's an athlete, man. He can do everything. He's everywhere. You know, the Fanatic did that too. The Philly Fanatic went out there and he could do crazy stuff. Because you got to be athletic to be in those suits. You just can't be some schlub who walks around. So this is in the prize pack. The gritty poster, ladies and gentlemen. Let me put it right up here. Should cover my face with it, actually.
All right.
So we have that on display. We have a lot of other word art, Philly word art, and the Art of Words posters.
Correct.
And we've got New York art. So we've got art from all over the country. This is not just all Philly-centric stuff. We've got music art. We've got all kinds of art. You know what I'm saying? Do we have Jose?
We do have Jose, and hold on if I do it correctly. I have Trevor from the 203 and Jose on right now.
Trevor, what's the stump, Jose, on Taco Tuesday?
Are you both there?
I'm here. It's Taser Tuesday.
It's Taser Tuesday, too, yes. What up, Jose?
What up, Trevor?
What up, Jose? How we doing today?
How we doing? Oh, we doing great, yo.
All right, let's cut out all the pleasantries. Let's get down to the business instantly.
I was about to say.
Before you go on, though, there's somebody that has a radio on in the background. Turn that down because I'm hearing a little bit of feedback.
Is that you, Trevor?
You guys are on mute. My TV and all I got is a fan going because I'm about to it's been hot as you know what up here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get down to the business.
So that's good that you're streamcasting us on your TV set.
Yeah, via my PlayStation 4, yo.
Beautiful. What PlayStation model is that? Exactly. So people should do that. They should say we should have done that last night at Landmark Americana. We've got to get our show up on the big screens wherever we are. You could do that at home. You can do it on your tablet. You don't just have to listen. You can watch the beauty of the show in all of its splendid glory and all the trinkets and stuff that we have all over the studio.
All right. So we went over the question. We went over the rules again, and we know what Trevor's playing for, and then the surprise that Jose is playing for that he will win if he gets 10 in a row correct.
He's got to get 10 consecutive questions correct.
For the big
and
prize.
He gets the big prize. Every day or every Tuesday, there will be 2 contestants to go up against. So Jose has to go 5 straight weeks of
correct.
Winning.
Yes.
Winning.
This is not easy. We're not making it easy on him.
No, Jose has the biggest burden here.
Right. That's why when people are saying, "Oh, it's fixed," or whatever, this is stupid. We're making it hard enough on Jose as it is.
Yeah, you can call and stump him and get a prize. Jose calls and you call in and he loses. He gets Jack.
All right.
Jack's not here, but Jack's going to be a cop. Not that Jack. Not Jack in the back.
Okay, so
or not Jack. Jack Daniels.
Jack Danielle.
Not Jack Daniels.
So Jose, how are you feeling today?
Good. I think the trip. Don't let me just say this. Too long a trip or bye weeks could make my brain get a little more amped up fuel-wise.
No, you can't overthink it. You got to relax. You got to breathe. It comes naturally. And I think what's happened is people like Dean, mean-spirited bastards on our Twitch stream that we love dearly, they've been trying to throw you off your game so that you would lose and they would win. And that's what happens when you have degenerate gamblers trying to find angles on how to disrupt someone. You just got to stay focused, but just make it come naturally, as it always does for you, Jose, because that's when you're at your best, not when people are putting pressure on you. So there will be no pressure here.
As what Matt Nagy has on his play sheet, BU. I'll say that.
Are we ready to play the game?
I'm ready.
We should have a theme song for this game.
Oh, man, you're right, and I didn't think of it.
Damn it, Robin, I have to think of
Production
everything.
value going up.
All right, we ready?
I know what the song could be.
What?
Ready to go, Republica.
Ready to go. Is that New Republic or Republica?
Republica from the mid-'90s band. Ready to go. They use that in arenas across.
Oh, here we go. I got that right here for you.
Yep.
This is an instant request for our background music. Robin, bring it up. Ready to Go by Republica. Not Republicans, because they would be wearing MAGA hats, and then we'd have to bring in the police. This is the song. You know this song?
I played that during my triple bye week.
All right.
Now, do you know this song, Trevor?
No, I'm actually learning new music every day. Thank you.
He says they play this in arenas all over America.
I've never heard it.
Yeah, I am
They
unfamiliar
played it
with
at
as well.
United Center during the Bulls' run to the championships.
Oh, this is good.
I was only 6 maybe during that time, so.
It's got a good beat. You can dance to it. I'll give it a 65.
Hey, Jane Sanitary, did Jose take a drug test? Is he taking PEDs?
I guess this is a pro steroid contest, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you're drinking, what you're having, which tailgate you prefer when you go to the lake. This is a anything goes kind of show here.
Yeah, because those types of things might help the situation. So, Trevor, what is your question?
The 2001 All-Star Games.
In which sport?
There were 8 in Major League Baseball.
Okay.
8 Mariners were in the game. Name 8. Name 4 of the 8.
In the 2000 and what
One
year?
All-Star game.
2001.
That was in Seattle.
Yes.
Name 8 Mariners.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Kazuhiro Sasaki is 1.
Mm-hmm.
Ichiro.
A-Rod.
That was his rookie year, by the way, Ichiro, as far as in United States baseball, I believe.
It was his rookie year. A-Rod was a Texas Ranger that year.
Can he keep going until he gets 8, or does he get eliminated?
No, he has to do 4. 4 out of the 8.
No, Trevor said name all 8.
No,
He told me to name all 8 of them.
I said, you could do 4, I could do 8. We could do either one.
No, we can't change the rules now. So
No, he said 4. He named 4 out of the 8.
I'll go Sasaki, Ichiro, Griffey Jr., Red Boone.
Mm-hmm. You got 3.
And who else? Give me some more.
Freddie Garcia.
Yep.
Who else? There's so many.
Can you name more for extra credit?
Edgar Martinez.
You can name more. I'll take them.
Edgar Martinez. That's another correct one.
Cal Ripken Jr.
He was on the Orioles that year. I was saying
No,
8
see,
Mariners.
I think he's confused. He wants the 8 Seattle Mariners, not 8 players who played on the All-Star team in that year, Jose. There were 8 Seattle Mariners on the team, not just.
I said Sasaki. I said Ichiro. I said Freddie Garcia.
Mm-hmm.
Red Boone.
Mm-hmm.
Junior.
Junior was not on the All-Star team that year.
Okay.
But he got 4 correct, so.
I got 4.
Yeah, you got Edgar Martinez as well.
That's 5.
How
That's
can you
impressive.
forget the big unit?
That is impressive. So we have 1 Jose. Jose got that one correctly.
Unit was in Arizona.
Yes.
91, was he in Arizona? That's right. So you know who he was with there, right?
Arizona. That was the year they won the series against the Bombers.
Exactly right. You know who
Kurt
else was
Schilling.
there? Kurt Schilling was in Arizona in the desert.
Luis
And you have-
Gonzalez
and
as well.
they had Miguel Bautista and Young Kim.
So, Jose, you have 1 out of 10 correctly, and we have to give a loser horn to. Is it a loser horn to Trevor, or just a thank you? Thank you for participating.
You can give me a bump. I deserve it. Why not?
No, I'm not going to give you one of
it's
those,
not
but I
really
mean,
worth
it's
it.
a custom on the
Applause
show.
for trying.
And now, of course, Steve in Detroit is saying, "Oh my gosh, it's frickin' rigged."
It is not rigged.
Here we go again.
All right. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Trevor.
Trevor, we're going to send you a lovely parting gift.
Give him a Mariners. Give him
That's
a
not
throwback.
how this works, Tony.
I'll buy him a beer when he comes to the next tailgate. I'll have a coffin at the next tailgate.
I'll do a White Claw update at the next tailgate. I'll go through.
I'll buy you a
lot.
White Claw and a Truly, just for being truly a good sport and playing the game.
No props. Later, Jose.
All right, later, Trevor. Thanks for playing, yo.
We're going to have another contestant on the line, Robin? Do we have another contestant lined up?
Hold on. I have to do this. How does
Don't
this
hang
work?
up on Jose now.
So Jose's there. Jose, you're still there, right?
We're going to send you. We're going to have complimentary versions of the home game of Stump Jose on Taco Tuesday to send out.
Okay, so since we only have 2 lines, we have to wait for somebody else to call in right now.
So what do I do while we wait for this caller?
We play New Republica again.
No,
or no,
we're
we
not.
play Ready to Go by not New Republic. Republica.
That's when we get the contestant on, we play it.
So
okay.
if you also would like to play, you can give us a call at 215-462-TONY. That's 215-462-8669.
Or as I would say, 888-669 instead of 9.
8669, yes. That would also work. I had to think about that one for a
Here's
second.
another good song people are requesting, I believe, to play during the show.
Cool.
You know what this is, right? That's a little Limp Bizkit action.
No,
What up?
I don't want to.
Dirts in Westmoreland?
Exactly. See what I mean? That's what Luigi does best. You throw something at him, and he just gives you answers. Meanwhile, do we have another contestant on the line, Robin?
We did, but they hung up.
215-462-TONY.
Loss.
These are some of the jams from Madden 05, 06, and 07, too. I should play
like
those.
the Roundup Madden.
Well, that's an NFL film song.
I love me some Sam Spence action, yo.
Love Sam Spence.
Yeah.
Not Spencer for Hire.
No, that's not Robert Ehrlich and that Avery Brooks cat with the glasses.
In fact, I have the Madden 05 soundtrack, Robin.
So I don't know what's going on, but somebody's calling and then it immediately hangs up.
Somebody trying to sabotage the contest?
I think they're trying to get me off my game.
I think they're stinking Russians who are trying to collude with the results of this contest.
Jose, why don't we put you on hold while we continue with the show until somebody else calls in?
In the meantime, I'll play some sounds from the Madden 05 soundtrack, Robin.
Can you play a Roundup or the Roundup is good.
I used to have Roundup, but I can't use it on my lawn anymore because it causes problems for people.
Well, I'll be on hold and I'll be on Spotify while I wait for that caller.
All right, Robin, can you please play the song here? Bring this up. Please, please, please. Or do I have to yell? How many times can I say please, Robin?
4.
It's happening again. Jose, I might have to call you back.
I'm right here.
It's a good thing we had 3 weeks to get this contest
No,
all
it's the
oiled
phone
like a fine
lines
machine.
it's doing something really, really weird. So
I'll call back then.
Okay.
Go to the next cut. This is the clincher, Robin. For all of you playing in franchise mode on Madden 05, Robin. You may have heard this in strip clubs, too.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah. Yeah. Is this your tailgate playlist? Which one? The good tailgate or the bad one? I'm going to have to do a map of tailgates to avoid all over the country. So if you don't want to get in any trouble, I'll be able to rate the tailgates and do a Mount Rushmore of tailgates. Robin, you have to bring it up a little while it's playing, please. Do the Bills Mafia use this song when they're throwing people through folding tables on fire? It's getting funky, you're damn right. That's just because it's hot and humid outside. We're asking about the gritty, suitable for framing. So the print size is 16 by 20, which is the standard size for framing. And it's from the artofwords.com. Art of Words. Go to the website and check it out. This guy, Dan Duffy, does the most amazing word art you will ever see. Everything that he paints, I'm trying to figure out which side to bring it on. Everything that he draws is done with words, including things that have the New York skyline one, which we have there too, Robin, is really incredible. It's the new New York skyline with the new World Trade Tower #1. I recommend everybody go to his website, theartofwords.com, and you will see all the amazing stuff. And when you look at it, just think every single thing in there is a word, including rosters of teams, all-time teams for different sports. It's just an incredible, incredible talent. It takes him a long time. What else we got?
So every time I pick up the phone, it just immediately hangs up.
Robin to the side stage. Robin to the side stage right now.
What's going on here?
Bambi to the main stage. Bambi, you're up.
I'm trying to work on it, Tony Bruno.
No, I know. That's why I'm playing a little music in the background.
Well, I don't want you to keep doing that because we're going to be shut down by...
It'll just be the part where the music played.
Yeah, no, the more we play, the more difficult it's going to be.
Somebody wanted Faith No More. That's the Phillies fans. They have Faith No
You're
More.
playing way too much music right now. So I need to turn the music down.
All right, turn the damn music off, Robin. Then you wonder why. See, it's not an instant flip out. It takes time to build up.
Well, but I mean,
it's
I'm
like a
doing
steam
it for
kettle.
a reason.
When you have a steam kettle and you put it on at first, you don't hear anything, and then you start hearing the bubbling. Then you start
this
hearing
contest, it's difficult because of our phone system. It's hard to make sure, like, if more than one person is calling, I need to have Jose on first.
Exactly. To warm them up?
No, so that it's just because when I hang up, the line 1, line 2 thing is just weird.
We're not ordering more phone lines for this, Robin.
No, I know.
I'm sick and tired of having to order more equipment. We got other people sitting on a couch with 2 microphones making millions of dollars a year, and they spend like $15 on equipment. Jesus. Wow. All right, so Robin's going to call Jose now. In the meantime, I already gave you speaking of soundtracks, there's the big NBA controversy today, and this is not a new story for a lot of people. Mike Scott of your 76ers, when he's not in tailgates, trying to stay out of trouble, he was wearing a ninja-style headband. Now, here's the first problem, the first part of the story that's wrong. Headbands are not worn by ninjas. Ninjas don't wear headbands. Maybe the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles did, but they even had masks, though, so those weren't headbands. Ninjas wore full face gear with just a slot. Am I wrong here? Because I'm looking for accuracy before I get into the details of the story. A ninja is a person who wears full black gear, sort of like Antifa, except they're not pussies. And so they're not like middle-aged guys with purple hair who couldn't even beat a fly without an assault rifle. SALT. For those of you paying attention.
But Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they had the band.
Yeah, but they covered their eyes. They weren't headbands.
Correct.
So the problem with the NBA.
Well, and then Karate Kid, he had just the headband thing going.
Yes, but now the NBA, even though it didn't do anything during the season, when Jimmy Butler and Mike Scott and Karl Anthony Towns, a bunch of guys started wearing. And now people are confused as to what a ninja is and what a headband is.
Yes.
A headband, they're still worn. Like tennis players wear headbands, but they basically are there to absorb moisture, and they're tight.
Right.
So you put them on, and they stay on your head, and they go all the way around consistently, sort of like a towel, except with they're elastic.
But a Japanese headband is tied.
Correct. Now, people are saying, the
But
NBA. Listen, nobody rips the NBA
But it's
more
not
than I do.
necessarily ninja, because Japanese all over, because they wear that like if they're cooking and things like that, specifically for the sweat issue. Now, we do have successfully.
All right, I'll get back to the ninja update already in progress later. But I want to just make sure that people know that ninjas do not wear headbands. And baseball players who are wearing these headbands now have a baseball hat on top of them. They're not wearing headbands without a hat. I understand. I just finish the thought. Please, Robin. Please.
No,
okay.
I'm trying to say that somebody has the turned up on speaker or something.
Okay. Well, I don't know who it is. Who's on the line? Jose, I know he's there, and I know he doesn't have it turned up.
I do not.
Ah, there we go. Oh, no. So K-Bry. K-Bry, are you there?
K-Bry, are you on the line?
Hello? K-Bry? K-Bry, are you there?
Can you hear me?
There you go. Now, do you have the volume up in the background of what you're listening to hear the show?
No, I had it on speaker. We're all good to go now. I turned it off
okay.
speakerphone.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give ourselves a bump the bump and then a roaring round of applause. First, for screwing up, and secondly, for fixing it. All right. Now, K-Bry, a good friend, he's the guy that sent me the assault rifle, right?
Correct.
And you also sent
What up, assault rifle?
He also sent me the globe.
Was that from
No,
K-Bry's?
I need to send the disco ball next. The disco ball.
I'm going to need a disco ball. I'm going to need it ASAP. Can you get it out one-day delivery on Amazon? No, I'm just kidding. You have Amazon Prime, right?
K-Bry, do you
of
still
course. I'll have it there between now and Christmas, I promise.
Perfect.
There you go.
Does somebody still have us on?
Do you have us on speakerphone on that phone, Robin, maybe?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right, let's get this damn contest underway. What is your question, sir? K-Bry, what is your first name? Because I only know you as K-Bry.
Caden Bryan on Twitter. You follow me on Twitter.
Ah, beautiful, Caden. All right, Caden, now I know the rest of the story.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so back in 2002, the Montreal Expos were chasing that elusive single wild card spot. They traded for Bartolo Colon to the Cleveland Indians, Jose. Who were the three prospects? Can you name two of the three prospects that the Indians got back for Bartolo Colon in 2002?
Bartolo Colon.
Bartolo Colon, I remember you went to Montreal. Deadline deal in July. Two prospects after thinking of is Grady Sizemore and...
Correct.
I can't think of the other one off the top. I know
There
Sizemore
was
was one of them.
two other prospects. One of them pitched for your Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh, you're giving a little hint there, huh?
Oh, you're being
Little
generous.
hint.
Yeah, Phillies. One of the prospects.
Not Tom Brady. He was not involved in that trade.
Unfortunately not. 2002. That's when Boa took over the team. Near the end of the Bet tenure. You got me, man.
Clifton Lee, Clifton Pfeiffer Lee, and
That's Cliff
Brandon
Lee.
Phillips.
Brandon Phillips.
Wow.
And Cliff Lee. All part of that Bartolo Colon. Well, Jose, that's an official loss, my friend.
That is a loss.
That means you're going to have to start again in your quest to get 10 consecutive answers. This is harder than The Wall.
This is very difficult.
This is harder than those other spin that wheel games on TV. And The Masked Singer, of course.
I'd rather play the game with the suitcases back in the day with Howie Mandel.
That's why I have the music in the background. We're going to call the banker right now and see what he says.
K-Bry, stay on the
someone
line.
says-
Stay on the line because I'm going to need your information to send you your fabulous gift for stumping Jose.
Would you be interested in a globe, in a beautiful desk-sized globe?
No.
No, that's the one he sent
I
us,
know.
Robin. I'm joking.
You use it all
I'm
the time.
re-gifting his own gift to send back to him.
But you would be sad. You would be very sad.
I'm joking. I'm not going to re-gift that.
Okay, I'm going to take you guys off the air and get the information off the air. Hang on.
All right, Jose, we're going to have to try again next week. And we're going to have to get this damn contest fixed, or we may have to pull the plug on this sucker. This has been as bad as some of the summer replacement shows on network television. I mean, it's not my style to rip. But I don't know what's going on around. And I want to apologize, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the kind of fine-tuned machine we usually have on the show. This, in fact, is. This is not just a dumpster fire. This is a dumpster fire where the dumpster is on fire and floating down the street in torrential rainfall and lake effect snow coming along with it. That's how bad this is. You know what it is? That's stupid. Exactly. I got to get this on Twitter. I think I know who this person is. I have over 65,000 friends, and my mom is my best friend. I'm the biggest loser you've ever seen. His name is Mike Scott Jab on Twitter, at Real Prince Blue. He said, now my wife is worried about me going to the Falcons-Eagles game. Sheesh. It's in Atlanta. Nothing bad ever happens in Atlanta. Just ask Ray Lewis and a lot of my friends down there in the dirty South. Wow.
Okay, so I have no idea what was going on. I think I might have accidentally hit the intercom thing. So
wait, this may be on you, Robin?
This might have been on me. I think the echo we were hearing was because...
And we were trying, as per usual, to blame other people
for
our own sins.
But anyway, I think I might have accidentally pressed this little button here says intercom, and so I'd conferenced everybody in, but then when I hit intercom as well, it was picking up the speaker from here from this little small.
But can you bring
Because
this
it's
back up, please,
complicated.
Robin?
It's complicated when I'm
The one
trying to
thing
do everything
you never
else.
forget to do is to always bring the volume down on my music, Robin.
Well, there's only so many things. I only have 2 hands.
But I bring the music down for the program, Robin, so then you don't have to bring it back up again later. You know what I'm saying?
No, I don't.
And Robin, hey, one of your biggest fans, Big Sexy 69 says,
No.
Robin, that's not good phone, Robin. That's not
You don't
good
understand.
phone.
This is after the initial phone call on the big phone number with then I have to answer the second line or make on this one, and then there's little tiny things that I have to push. And when I have a ton of other things going on, it's kind of hard.
Bob from Valley Forge, give it to her, Tony. Give it to her real
Robin
good.
needs an intern. Yes,
Damn it,
I
Robin.
do, Beer Vac. I need an intern. Damn
Now,
it.
Robin is saddled with a lot of stuff, including me, first off. But we are trying to do the best we can with 2 people. And, Jose isn't here to help us some days. No, Jose. Luigi's here some days to help. But
he
we're
doesn't
doing
help
the
with this
job,
kind of
really,
stuff.
and I'm not complaining.
Even when Luigi's here, he's not handling phones.
Robin?
Yeah. Am I complaining too much?
We are. People don't want to hear complaining.
Okay, I'm not going to complain anymore.
Exactly.
Trevor from the 203. Robin, if you need help, or if you need an intern, I can help. Yeah, but what are you going to do from Connecticut, Trevor? You going to move in with us?
Now, are we giving Jose a loss because of the intercom incident, or would that be just a lame excuse? No, he admitted that he didn't get it right.
Yeah, no, he did not get that
So it wasn't like
one
we're
right.
not trying to give him wins for losses, dog.
No.
Somebody loses, we don't call him a loser. They just take the loss. Or blame the Russians, one or the others. I think we should start impeachment proceedings right now against our phone system. Get somebody from Congress on. But anyway, that's enough about that. Let me get back to this ninja thing, though, now, Robin.
All right.
Do you have any ninja music for me?
Other than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
That's my favorite one, but there's a lot of ninja songs. Ninja, of course, was the big guy on Twitch who played Fortnite. That was his nickname, right? I don't believe that was his real name. And as I was explaining earlier on this ninja debacle, and by the way, let me get to the NBA music here. Because one thing everyone can agree on is that I ain't no honk for the National Basketball Association, Robin. Is that safe to say?
No, you are not.
I try to be fair with all sports leagues. If I find problems in any sports, any players, I express them. If I have problems with management on any team, I rip them. If I have problems with players who do the wrong thing, I'm going to rip them.
By the way, this is the Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice.
Which version of this was, which reboot of the Ninja Turtles was this? Because they've
This
done
was
like
not
62.
Ninja Turtles. This is Ninja Rap by Vanilla Ice. Oh,
No.
it is.
Hello,
Sorry.
Robin. This was in one of the
Yes, it was
stupid
one of the
Ninja Turtle
movies,
movies. I love the original ones, and they just keep bringing them back. Live action, cartoons. Yeah. Kind of a stupid song, but anyway, first of all, let's define a ninja. A ninja is not somebody who sits around playing video games all day.
No.
I usually call them dorks. But that's in a nerds in a respectable
True
form.
ninjas are an elite
Fighting force. They wield swords, and they also wear full black garb. That is a real ninja. And the only thing that's open is just the eye part,
Just
right?
a tiny slit.
Okay, so that's the first confusion. The NBA and all the other people who are upset about this terminology, it is not a ninja headband that athletes are wearing. Like the Phillies had the one with the fanatic eyes. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
I think they're hideous, but you know what? You want to buy it, you buy it. But the difference between baseball players wearing those headbands, whatever you want to call them, they're not ninja bands, is that when they tie it in the back, they put a hat over it. And here's where I think the NBA is trying to figure out a way. Do I think that they're trying to do this for marketing? No, Nike's making them. And Nike's a sponsor of the NBA. So for all those people who want to use that conspiracy theory is the NBA's pissed off because athletes were doing their own thing and wearing their own headgear. Is that something I would think of as a conspiracy theory? Yes, because the NBA, like all other sports leagues, they want to make sure they get their money first. But in this case, this is where I understand where they're coming from. Now, the players just started wearing them on their own this past season. And then the NBA today in a statement to Adrian Wojnarowski at ESPN said they didn't want to do anything about it mid-season while the season was in play and say, hey, guys, that's not really authorized. We have to authorize all the equipment that you can wear. Not just that it's by sponsors, because nobody was putting advertising on these things.
Mm-hmm.
They were just wearing headbands.
Yeah.
And so the league comes out today and says, listen, we didn't allow it we allowed it to go last year because about 5 or 6 players were doing it, including Mike Scott, as I mentioned, and many other players. So they didn't want to stop it down in the middle of the season because then everybody would be ripping the NBA during the middle of the season for doing something that they'd say, why are you doing this now? So they just basically let the season play out. That's their excuse. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt there. Because I agree, if they had told those players, hey, take that shit off, right in the middle of the season, there would have been outcry. Right. There would have been columns. There would have been protests trying to keep the players down nonsense. So now that players want to wear them again, they already told Mike Scott, who was wearing one last year, that even though they were Nike, that you can't wear them because we haven't approved them as apparel that can be worn. And then now, of course, people are posting, well, what about, they show tennis players wearing headbands. They are not the same as headbands. I'm just trying to be rational here. I'm not taking sides on here. I'm just trying, and trust me, if the NBA was doing some bullshit here, I would call bullshit on them. Do I like this? No. Do I think they're trying to capitalize in some way? Of course. But remember, athletes can wear headbands. And as I mentioned earlier, tennis players wear headbands, athletes wear headbands, NBA players wear headbands because their purpose is to absorb sweat so it doesn't roll down in your eyes. I guess especially guys with shaved heads. Where's the sweat going to go? It rolls right down into your eyes, and it's salty and it hurts. So the original headbands, which have been worn for generations, are basically for sweat-wicking purposes, not fashion statements, okay? And not to send a message that you're a ninja and you're a tough ass. So people are trying to confuse the difference between a headband and a ninja band. First off, they're not ninja headbands because ninjas don't wear headbands. They wear full-body suits.
Well, they do have. I mean, underneath it, you can see that, but they do wear.
It's like onesies.
Yeah,
they're like onesies, and they have something under it.
And from what I understand, is that the headband that they have that they wear, they can then pull down and kind of cover everything when they want to go all black.
So, do I think that this is the NBA trying to treat players like slaves? No. Do I think that the NBA, the people who run it, are a bunch of overzealous jerks? Absolutely. So I'm not taking management side. I'm not taking the player side. Here's the difference between a headband, which is a sweat-wicking thing that you put on your head, open it up, and you absorb the sweat, and a ninja headband, or whatever you want to call it, one that's just basically a cloth that's tied around in the back. The NBA is saying in their statement today that it's the looseness of it can't be determined. Because remember, they're tied in the back. Headbands are not tied. They're elastic. So when you put a headband on, it's not going to fly off easily, right?
Okay.
So this is what they're saying.
Yeah, there's give.
There's give, but it's pretty tight around your head. Not where it's going to leave a mark.
Okay.
So that's their first argument, that they couldn't control the looseness of it. What happens if a player has it on and all of a sudden another player grabs it and it falls off onto the ground
and then
a player slips on it? So I can see that. It's player safety. Do I think that it's going to happen a lot? No. The other thing they say is that because of the tied knot in the back, a player could turn around, the loose parts could hit somebody in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're going up for a rebound, right? And you have
like
dangling shit on the back of your head.
It's like if I have a ponytail in.
It's not that long on these headbands.
But I've hit you in the face before with
exactly.
my ponytail.
Well, only when I don't like it when I don't ask for it. When you do it because you're turning your head. So I'm looking at those two factors that the NBA is using as one of the reasons why they want to get a standardized, this is okay to wear, this isn't. It's not about gang things or any of that other crap. It's about safety. Because I guarantee you, if Jimmy Butler, when he was with the Sixers, when everybody loved him in this town and thought he really loved it here and he was going to stay here forever, and then basically made everybody realize that they weren't going to pay him, so he'll go wherever they pay him the money, including Miami, which sucks. Enough about that. Say he turns around, he's going up for a rebound.
Yeah, you can
and he
see.
hits somebody in the eye with it.
Well, here you
that
can
thing's
see it.
dangling. Look at
It's
that.
dangling.
That thing's dangling all the way down his back. Tell me that a player inside the paint area going up can't hit somebody in the eye with that? Imagine getting hit in the eye. Again, I'm not knocking Jimmy Butler. I'm just saying this is the problem the NBA sees with these unauthorized, I'm going to do my own thing. Headbands are not things that you tie in the back of your head and have a long bow hanging off it. Something that could swing around and hit somebody in the face. That's the bottom line, and that's why the NBA says, listen, we're not going to allow it. Here's the thing why I don't understand, because there's still a lot of time before the season starts, right? So they're saying you can't wear it this year in the 2019-2020 season because we haven't had all the focus groups and all these people who get paid a lot of money to sit around and make decisions, and because the commissioner is not going to really want to deal with this now when there's still a couple of months to go before the season. So what do? Hey, let's put this aside for a season. We're not going to allow any of this shit this year. But we're going to have meetings, and we're going to come down and figure out the official headband, of the official ninja headband, when it's not ninja. First of all, remove the word ninja. That's your first mission here. It is not, let me repeat, it is not a ninja headband. Ninjas don't wear headband. For all of you other people who say, well, baseball players are wearing them. Bryce Harper had one with that stupid fanatic eyes on it. Memo to baseball fans who are trying to equate the two as the same. Baseball players wear hats on top of their headbands.
Actually,
And oh, by the way, when a baseball player hits the ball, he runs to first base. He's not getting into scrums with other players trying to catch the ball or run with the ball. And based on the ones I've seen in baseball, they're not dangling all the way the back of their necks.
And FYI, the Fanatic headband is also not one of those ones that gets tied in the back. It is very similar to the kind.
So it has elastic, because I haven't seen
Yeah.
one up close.
I forget what they're called, but it's that stretchy material.
Velcro?
No, it's a stretchy.
So it's not stacked, so it's all one fitting?
It's all one, and it's kind of the same thing that they were giving out to all of the all of the contestants on Survivor.
Okay. Yeah, they're technically headbands, but the bottom line is you can't compare the two. And again, I'm not favoring baseball and beating up on the NBA. I'm saying is players want to make their own rules. And in the world when they're still your boss, no, they're not your slave owners, they're your boss. They make the rules. I guarantee you, if somebody had gotten hit in the eye with one of those stupid headbands flying around, there'd be all kinds of shit that hell to pay. There probably would have been a brawl on the floor, right? Players are banging each other all the time anyway. Now have somebody whip their head around and hit somebody in the eye with a headband. That's why guys were wearing goggles. They were getting hit in the face a lot. You're allowed to wear goggles as an NBA player to protect your eyes if they're hurt. Mm-hmm. You're allowed to wear different kinds of face masks to protect a nose or your eyes. You're allowed to wear masks to protect broken noses and things of that
Himmel
nature.
Rover 1977 is saying it's kind of like a do-rag.
I don't know. Again, I don't know what the intent is. I don't know if it's a message. I just think it's cool. They thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Somebody said, hey, man, let's put these ninja things on, and we're cool. Again, if you want to wear something stylish, I don't have a problem with people wearing anything they want. But this whole notion that the NBA should have no right to say what you should wear on your head when there's things dangling behind you. But the problem I have with the NBA is how they knew this was apparently not good during the season, didn't want to do anything about it during the just ended season a couple of months ago, but now have decided 2019, 2020, all right, we're going to sit on our asses and try to come up with we got to get some panels together. We have to get some marketing groups together to try to come up with the perfect one. How about the one, as Robin mentioned, which I didn't even know before she just showed me because I haven't seen one of those up close, the ones that the baseball players are wearing over their heads. And then they put a hat on top of it. There's nothing dangling behind it. And baseball players versus NBA players, big difference in how they play the game.
Now, for those of you who do not recall, the thing that I was looking at it's called a buff, which I could see
not a Buff Worthington, which is a species of chicken, as you know.
And here is our good friend Jervis. Whoops.
Jarvis Peterson?
Yeah, hold on.
Is he crying? That looks like what's his face crying.
That's not it. Why did it skip to that? We don't want that.
On Survivor, they wear
Yeah.
headbands.
It's called a buff. Here it is.
A buff?
A buff. But that's
Is
a
that
buff.
tied?
No, it is not tied. It is a stretchy kind of material. I believe that's the
Does he
same
have Baltimore Raven gear on, Jervis?
No, it is a.
It looks like the Baltimore Ravens logo.
colors. Yeah, no.
It's purple and it's got looks like a.
No, that's the Survivor colors.
I know that.
But each
I was going to get
season they
Gert
gave
Jervis on the phone and ask him what's up with the stupid Buffalo Ravens gear.
It's sort of this stretchy lycra material, and it's just a circular thing, and it can be used as a full head cover. It can be used as a
and you know what
face
it's
cover.
used for?
It can be used as anything.
To wick sweat. That's the purpose. They're not fashion symbols, especially when you're playing sports or crawling through the jungle looking for grubs to eat. Nobody's trying to make a fashion statement. Not even Tarzan back in the day. Tarzan just wore a loincloth. Let it all hang out, right?
I had a buff in the Virgin Islands over my head that I used.
Was that
to
a
cover,
buff?
Yeah, that was a buff. It's a stretchy material. I have it upstairs somewhere. But
Can we do the show in the buff tomorrow?
if the players agreed that they could wear one of those, that shouldn't be a problem because it's stretchy like a regular headband. It's just not made of terry cloth.
It's a multi-purpose
And
garment,
yeah,
right?
That one would be safe.
Because K-Bry 96 said, I'm a big fan of the buff. My wife's got a few of those. Good in place of a skirt or a shirt.
It's because it's a longer piece. It's a tube of material,
Mhm.
and if you scrunch it together, it becomes a headband. If you leave it open a little bit more,
Right.
it can become a full hair cover. If you put it around because it stretches really well, you can put it as a tube top shirt. You can use it as an armband. You can use it all sorts of things.
See how we break it down scientifically? Most shows couldn't do this because they would have to do like a 5-minute segment and then go to a 10-minute commercial break. Here we can do it scientifically. I feel like Mr. Wizard or Bill Nye, the alleged science guy. Except we don't have any Bunsen burners or beakers down here. Beaker?
Beaker.
I didn't even kiss her. You know what I'm
Remember
saying?
the beaker from the.
I love Beaker. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. NBA screws up last year by not doing anything, thought it would cause a commotion. Then at the end of the season, they tell Mike Scott. Maybe that's why Mike Scott was so angry in the parking lot. Maybe that's why that casket really, really triggered him, so to speak.
Cujo knows. Need to get Tony in a buff. You've worn a buff, haven't you?
Yeah, I've worn all sorts of things. I prefer to when I'm in the Virgin Islands, I prefer to be naked. Let's be honest.
He wants to be.
Not because I'm trying to show off.
Do you want to be in the buff wearing a buff?
Not there was a referee, right? Wasn't there a wrestler named Buff Bagwell? Buff Bagwell was a wrestler. Can you find Buff Bagwell, Robin? Buffy was a vampire slayer, but that's a chick. There aren't many guys named Buff these days. Now, there are a lot of buff guys. Buff Bagwell. Buff. Buffalo Bills, but I don't think Buff is short for Buffalo. Is it? I don't think so.
Here is Buff Bagwell right here, wrestler.
I remember he was jacked up.
Yeah, he was jacked.
There's a Buff Bagwell.
That's
he had that was back in the day when you had the barbed wire tats.
Yes, he definitely
He had
has
the old school
he has a tribal,
barbed.
He has a tribal tat.
That's not a barbed wire?
I don't think so. I think it's a tribal tat.
And he had the really great, not Fu Manchu, but it was.
You know who I think of is Freddie Mercury whenever I see that.
Freddie Mercury didn't have the trim in the middle. He had the
he
one line
did.
in the middle. Because I could do
At
that
the
to my
end.
beard.
At one point he
You just
did.
get the middle parts with a line, and then the two outside edges are a line on your goat.
So Freddie Mercury did it, and as did Michael.
By the way, I have a great suggestion on the Twitch stream board right now. Tony should get a casket to represent Joe Corrado being gone from the podcast for a couple of years.
We were just talking about
somebody
him last
asked
night.
us this morning. I got to give him one of these. He doesn't even listen. Forget about not coming on the show. He doesn't follow. He doesn't listen. He doesn't support the show in any way, shape, or form. What did I do to mess him up or get him pissed off?
I don't think he's pissed. I think it's his
I know he's got a
daughter.
daughter. I know he's got a life. I'm not saying he should drop everything he's done in his life.
His daughter became the age where she's doing all these after-school activities, and he and
Yes.
his ex-wife have shared custody. So all of a sudden, he became, her chauffeur. and it prevented him from being able to do the show, which is very sad because we love him and miss him.
Exactly. But we're still on Twitter, and we always go back and forth. He's building a rather large. Remember, he got banned from Twitter, and
Yeah, he did.
and they
He
took
had
all
to-
of his followers away. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Tony, we have some updates other than the ninja.
So we covered the Ninja
headband
today. We covered
controversy.
the Carson Wentz, the Aaron Nola, the Raider fans, and I see now on Twitter some local radio stations are upset about profanity at sporting events. They probably saw the Raider fans with the AB chants and became triggered. You have to watch your language when you go to a sporting event now. It's like going to church. Maybe fans should not be allowed to wear any jerseys. Maybe go back to the days when men wore the Stetsons and the suits and the ties.
Oh, I love that.
And women wore the long gowns.
Heels.
You
No,
know,
they
but
didn't wear
not-
long gowns.
What did they wear, Robin? Dresses.
They wore dresses with stockings. Stockings, not
No,
pantyhose, stockings.
Yeah, pantyhose. Worst invention in the history of mankind or womankind.
But you do like the stockings.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Who doesn't? They're
Are you
sexy.
kidding? There is
with a
nothing.
line up the back. Do
Oh,
you like it?
the seam, you can go with the seam here or a seam there. You can go no seam. Yeah.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Did you play that or that just?
Yes, no, I played it, Robin.
Okay. That was
You think I
wondering
can't handle drop-ins without anybody here?
No,
I've been playing all the good shit
I
today.
didn't even see your hands move. That's why I was so
Hey,
impressed.
my hands have been very good to me. As Freddie Mitchell, Fred X once said on 4th and 26, my hands have been very good to me, Robin.
No, I think I agree. I think we need to go back to the day.
The ruffled panties? No, I don't know about the ruffled panties. When women wore those big ruffled panties underneath.
I like the ruffled panties. I got great
Ruffles
tips.
have ridges, Robin. Remember that.
I got-
Now, do you like the barbecued ruffled panties or just the
Or the
the sour cream and onion ruffled panties?
Maybe not those. But I got great tips when I was wearing ruffled
Great
panties.
what?
Great tips. I had those too, but I had
Great ass!
back in my ruffled panty days when I was working at Texas Lucy's, otherwise amongst my friends and I, Texas Floozies.
Why does it always have to go to tawdry, sexy stuff, Robin? And I'm glad you're saying it so people won't, so women out there who are feminists won't be coming after me for being a misogynist.
Speaking of feminists,
Yes.
we have a feminist monopoly update.
Yes, we do. And this
That was
one
a good
angers
segue.
me. You know, I don't get very angry, and that's, I'm not going to go into a rant. And I know why this happened. Now, you could go anywhere. Like in New York, there's New York Monopoly. So Monopoly's smart. They make different versions of the original board game. There's New York Monopoly. There's Philly Monopoly. So it's smart. They even though, you know, I told my buddy Johnny, who was out here from California, that you know where Monopoly was based on, right? Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Which I did not know.
That's why you had Boardwalk, and that's why you have the railroads. If I'm not mistaken, the original Monopoly game was based on Atlantic City, New Jersey real estate stuff before Donald Trump was buying casinos and then bankrupting them and getting rid of them. That's how far back Monopoly goes. So Monopoly's been doing different versions. Recently, they came up with one called Socialism Monopoly.
Oh, yes.
And you know what happened, right? Oh, man, you want to talk about people going ape shit. People were like, how dare Hasbro come out with a game that makes fun of people who think socialism is all good? There's one video of a kid. Did you see the one video of the kid who was crying because he lost money on Monopoly?
Yes.
And when the mother says, why are you crying? He says, because I always have to pay taxes.
It was awesome.
And it wasn't staged. It was a kid
Yes.
and the kid starts crying, playing Monopoly, and the mom says, why are you crying? He says, I always have to pay taxes. Well, you know, that's not Bernie Sanders' Monopoly, and I'm not getting political on this. Trust me. So then Monopoly comes up with Socialism Monopoly. Am I wrong here, Robin?
Hold on. First, I'm going to play the kid crying.
Grammarly does.
Whoops.
Yeah, this is the kid playing Monopoly with his parents, and you probably have seen this. So it's a kid.
Oh my
Here it is.
gosh.
Where's all your money gone, Donnie?
Taxes. 9, 10, 11. Let me fix my houses.
Bug, it's okay. It's part of the game.
No, it's not.
It
It's not
is.
fun.
It's not fun to what?
It's the worst
part of the game. Oh, it's what? Taxes.
We talking about taxes, man. We talking about taxes. Not a game. Not a game. Taxes here.
And you can hear his brother
I know,
in the
taunting
background
and laughing.
going, and I'm going to count up my houses.
And my
I'm
hotels,
and my
hotel,
hotels.
motel, holiday.
No sympathy. Oh, God. So we had the socialism monopoly, but now, Tony, in light of the Me
So they
Too
got hammered.
movement.
So Hasbro got hammered for coming out with Socialism Monopoly, which is hilarious. It's a game, okay? So people were saying, oh.
It's not accurate.
Oh, no, they're not. That's not being woke.
That's not how socialism works.
Dare you, Hasbro, for making
No.
fun of people losing their money.
It wasn't that. The people that were upset were trying to say that the way the game was being played and how everybody had to constantly pay in and you ended up losing everything.
Yep.
That the only thing that made money was there wasn't a jail. There was a
safe space?
there was a government fund that you had to continue to pay
Oh,
into.
okay.
That was the only part of the game that made money. Everybody else that was playing
You
was
lose
losing
money.
Well, that's kind of socialism.
Then they had empty, like when you go to Park Place, instead of it being like the premier property, it was basically a gutted out supermarket like Venezuela. You couldn't find anything on the shelves.
And so they were complaining that that's not how socialism works. That's not, this is not accurate. Anyway, now they have Mrs. Monopoly.
No, Ms.
Oh, excuse me.
What's the
Ms.
matter with you,
Oh,
Robin?
so sorry.
Are you a misogynist?
Ms.
Are
Monopoly.
you part of the matriarchy? So Hasbro says, screw equality. Women should make more money than men. And now we have Ms.
Ms.
It used to be MZ. Now it's MS.
Ms.
Monopoly. That's what single women used to call themselves, right? Ms. Do they still do that, Robin? Like when you look out in a form where you're allowed to put down whether you're a male, female. Are you allowed to put MZ on there? Is it like Mrs., Mr.? Because now you're probably going to have to get rid of that now in any kind of form you fill out where you click Mr., Mrs., Ms. AJ in San Antonio, the crying brother should have just had the Justice Department harass the other brother and freeze his assets. Freeze his assets right off, man.
Well, the new Monopoly game, the whole idea of the women's movement is for equality.
Correct.
Not for women to be making more than men. It's supposed
And by
to
the
be
way, there are men.
equal.
There are women that make more than men.
Yeah.
For example, in pornography, the woman always makes more than the dude. So women have achieved not just equality, but superiority in many walks of life. Like in strip clubs, the woman gets the money given to her. She doesn't give money to the guy sitting paying for drinks at the bar. That's equality, right? In fact, that's superiority. And I'm all for that. But Ms. Monopoly, one example, you see what they do? When you pass go on this game, what are you supposed to get, Robin?
$200.
No, not in this game.
No?
The woman gets $240 instead of $200. That's right. $240. Congratulations, ladies. Now you got an extra $40 of fake money that you can go use to buy Louboutin shoes with the extra $40 cash.
So in other words, no man is ever going to want to play this game. You can just play amongst yourselves with women, and then that's the only way it would be equal.
So let me ask you this. Now, if women are going to play with men, this is going to get ugly. Or it could be funny, depending on the sense of humor of those involved.
Because
but what about if feminists play other feminists in this game?
Right, then it would be the
Or
only...
lesbians play other lesbians. And then they get pissed off because the other lesbian has passed go more times than she has and has collected $240. The other part is, are they going to get rid of those sexist irons? You can't have irons suggesting that women should still be ironing clothes if you have a Ms. Monopoly. Am I right? Because what are the little pieces in the Monopoly game, Robin?
The dog, the hat.
You have an iron.
The iron.
It's an old school iron. That's how old the
yeah,
game was.
yeah.
That's sexist, right?
A shoe.
How about, the thimble? There's a thimble in there. That is sexist. How can you have a thimble in Ms. Monopoly?
How
That's
rude.
suggesting that women would have to actually sew a button on or something. And the iron is suggesting telling a woman to go iron my clothes and iron my hotels and you're going to have to work in the hotel that you buy after buying a house and then earning enough to put a hotel on it. What happens if the woman wants to put a Holiday Inn on there or a Holiday Inn Express? This game has all kinds of problems already written in.
El Bajito 43 says $40 is child support.
So wait a minute. If a man is playing Ms. Monopoly with a woman, and does he still get 200 when he crosses, and she gets 240?
No, he gets 200, but then he has to give part of his 200 to the missus because it's his ex. She goes, so every time she goes around, she gets 240, and then he goes around, gets 200, and he just immediately has to hand it over to her.
Or Pasco get $240 and then take an hour to get dressed. That's going to be part of Monopoly. Oh, I got to stop right here. My makeup doesn't look good. I have to go into the bathroom before I play the next game. I got more hotels than all the other bitches. You just wait right here. I'm the boss right now.
Is that what I do?
I'm the banker. I'm not saying you. I'm just generalizing here.
Yeah, because that ain't me. I'm usually waiting for you.
Bullshit. You take an hour to get ready, Robin. That is the accurate part of that statement, which was not made by me, by the way.
I do sometimes take an hour to get ready, but I plan ahead so that I know that I'm going to be on time, and then I'm there waiting for you because you wait until the last minute, even though you only take 5 minutes.
Ms. Monopoly only has 2 figurines to play with. Pair of scissors to castrate the guy and a hammer to bash Trump. Oh! That makes sense. Maybe I'll buy that game. Now, what about transgender Monopoly? When are we going to have that?
They should have Monopoly for everybody.
How about transsexual Monopoly games? You know, they have trans bingo now at clubs. They have the transsexual reading to kids in libraries around the country. Maybe they should make an operation game where you actually do remove body parts. When you put operation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you take the man's genitals out carefully and pull them out without getting stung. Or you take the penis. They should have a detachable penis on the operation. See, I'm trying to make all these games inclusive. Yes. You have electronic operation, and it's always a dude who you're operating on. You notice? There's no woman that you operate on in operation.
Wait a minute. So it's kind of like Mr. Potato Head and Operation Combined, where it's a non-gender person that you're operating on, and then you can subtract or add to, depending, so you can give a boob job, so you can put boobs on them, or you can take the penis off.
That would be a detachable penis again,
so
Robin.
You can kind of switch everything around.
It always comes back to the detachable penis song, doesn't it? We're kind of pieces, though. Because seriously, now I haven't seen the actual game. We may have to get it and play it on the air one day.
Get the Miss.
Because you know they got to get the iron out of there, right? And they got to get the thimble out.
Yeah.
If this is Ms. Monopoly, now is there a spot where you land on it and you say, take off your bra right now to commemorate the great days of the 60s when the Women's March was really about women's equality, when women would burn their... Is there a burn your bra right now spot that you land on? Instead of the Pennsylvania and Reading railroads, which are all obsolete, how about burn your bra? Advance to burn your bra and collect another $50 because that's how much they cost at Victoria's Secrets. Or Victoria's Secret. There's no secrets, Robin. Oh, people always get that wrong and it bugs me. It's Victoria's Secret. Singular. Because that bitch ain't got more than one secret. And she's never going to tell you until they go out of business.
Tony, I believe, if I can see this correctly, I have a photograph that I just found.
Of the Ms. Monopoly board?
Of the Ms. Monopoly board.
Oh, this is breaking news, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, from what I can tell, it has what looks like a private jet. A
private jet.
A weight.
Can you zoom in on that?
A weight kind of dumbbell. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Is that the Kirsten Gillibrand, I can bench press more than you, I'm no longer a presidential candidate dumbbell? So there's what's with the private jets? Do you think all men have private jets? Who are they appealing to here? Does every woman want a private jet, Robin? Who is this game targeting?
I lost.
Jesus. What are they changing the pieces to? Do they have a dildo on there, a little dildo? Do they have a strap on? I'm being serious here. She Melopoly is another one they're coming out with.
I'm having a hard time zooming in any more than this.
Damn
oh,
it,
wait.
Robin.
Hold on a second. No, I can't do that.
I'm coming up with ideas here. There's no way they have the thimble or iron, right? We can clear that up. Does it show
Correct.
the pieces?
Yeah, it shows the pieces there. I don't know. Can you see it there, Tony?
Is the cash different? Is it all pink, the money?
No.
Well,
the money looks pretty much the
Does
same.
everybody who plays it have to have pink or, well, they're all pink when you turn them upside down, Robin. As this one wise man once told me when I was a young, impressionable youth, and I was trying to figure out the difference between women. The one difference is there is no difference.
Tony.
Yes.
Here's an interesting little fact, which makes it even more ridiculous that a woman is making more money because she already did.
I don't care if women are making more money.
Did you know that Monopoly was actually invented by a woman? More than a century ago.
I did not know that.
Yes. So,
how about a cash app for men to deposit money in?
there's a new mascot on the game's cover, a brunette Ms. Monopoly, which you saw.
Is she hot at least?
And it replaces the dapper top hat wearing Mr. Monopoly.
Is she binary looking or is she hot?
She looks like a cartoon. Cute.
Mr. Monopoly looked like a cartoon. He had the monocle, right? Mr. Monopoly.
All right,
Yes.
here we go. So this is the capitalism game now features a whole new look, but similar classic gameplay. The coveted Park Place railroads and their ilk are replaced by Wi-Fi, ride-sharing tiles, and groundbreaking inventions and innovations made possible by women throughout history, including chocolate chip cookies, solar heating, and yes, even modern shapewear.
Wait a minute. So instead of getting Park Place, a valuable piece of real estate
Right.
worth millions and millions of dollars, you're worried about free frickin' Wi-Fi,
Instead
which
of-
everybody has now, by the way?
Instead of building houses and hotels, players build business headquarters. I think that's cool. That's cool. And the game pieces include a hard hat, a wristwatch, a book, a jet, a goblet, and a free weight.
A goblet.
Like a wine goblet.
I know. I'm just thinking of other things, Robin, when I think of goblets and women. But hey, I'm a little
Ms.
weird.
Monopoly celebrates everything from scientific advancements to everyday accessories, all created by women.
Oh, here it is, the best one ever. And it's the brilliant minds on Twitch stream that makes this all possible, including the best of the best, AJ in San Antonio. There's a chance card now in Miss Monopoly that reads, "You've just been fired by your boss. Pay a lawyer $50,000 retainer for a frivolous sexual harassment suit, and then go on Ellen." That's what it says on the cards. They got rid of Park Place. So if a woman wants a private jet, she doesn't want to own a beautiful hotel and make millions and millions of dollars. She wants free. That's an insult to suggest that women, all they want is free Wi-Fi instead of Park Place.
No,
but they
no,
want private jets, but they don't want Park Place.
It's not free Wi-Fi per se. It's just Wi-Fi. I think.
Is that one of the cards? Hey, you
Yeah.
get to fly on American Airlines and pay $25 for 1 hour of Wi-Fi.
Now, Tony, I am not showing anywhere here where a woman makes more money. Have we confirmed that that's an actual real
That's
thing?
the story that I read this morning that was on ABC News. So I'm gonna just suggest that ABC News may be a legitimate news source, because I read that now women will get paid $240 instead of $200 when they cross go in this game, to try to level the playing field, so to speak.
See, I'm not reading this anywhere on there about the extra, but I am showing.
That ABC News is a fraudulent news operation. Then I mean, some people agree that that's the case already, but I'm not going to go there yet. I'm not going to go there. Oprah, right now, you get free Wi-Fi. You get free Wi-Fi, and you bitch, you get free Wi-Fi.
Other than that, I think it's a fantastic thing that it's celebrating women inventors and showing.
Great, I totally agree. I don't have a problem with the game.
Yeah.
But it's like, as I mentioned, they've got games in cities. Different cities now are involved, and Boardwalk and all that other crap. The railroads have been out of business ever since the airline industry came about. That's why Cards Against Humanity is the greatest game ever made.
It is.
This way, everybody gets offended. Everybody gets insulted. and everybody laughs. That's what games should be.
And everybody wants the BBC.
Oh, of course. That's the best card ever.
'Cause you
I
can
don't care what you win on Monopoly, because at the end of the night, when you're all done with your little circle jerk playing Monopoly, which I've played forever, you still give the money back and put it in the bank.
Yep.
You still sort the ones and the twos and the fives. Are there two? Do they still have ones in this game? I mean, that's so offensive to me. Why would you still be giving $1 bills? Shouldn't everything be rounded out to the next 5? Shouldn't $5 be the lowest denomination that you can use in a game? Who's buying properties for $1 bill or $5? You can't even buy Wi-Fi on an airplane for less than $25 per flight. It's an outrage. Can you pay an extra $40 for the happy ending if you're a guy and you're playing with a woman who collects the extra $40 when you're playing? The jokes write themselves on this game, Robin. Do they not? I mean, if we had a large staff of writers, which we do, which is our audience.
Yes.
But chocolate chip cookies?
Were invented by a woman. It was
Of
invented.
course there were, but so you're going to sit around, hey, I just landed on the chocolate chip cookie card. How about that?
It's about
Do you
making
know that
money.
a woman invented chocolate chip cookies?
No, because you if you land on it and you buy it, then you own that chocolate chip cookie company.
Which
and
one
then
is
you
it?
make dividends.
Is it the hot chick that I used to like? And
Mrs. Fields?
Mrs. Fields. She
Yeah,
was hot, man.
She was hot.
Damn, is she still around?
I don't know.
There used to be a Mrs. Fields like in every food court. And then I remember seeing her. And I'm like, damn, that bitch can make me some chocolate chips any day of the week, baby. I had
now,
all
she's not
kind.
the one who invented it, but it was
I know,
apparently
but I
a
mean,
woman who
hey.
did it.
I mean, famous Amos. I mean, who wanted to do him, for God's sake? You know what I'm saying?
They were good
Famous
too.
Amos or Mrs. Fields. So come on, Robin, really? Even chicks wanted Mrs. Fields. She's probably
She's
a broke ass now.
I don't think so.
Working in a soup kitchen somewhere. Didn't she have all kinds of problems? You know, it always happens with these people. They get famous, they come up with an invention, and then they go broke.
Mrs. Fields. Let's see.
Let's get a Mrs. Fields update. Not Strawberry Fields. That's a different place where we were in Central Park a couple of weeks ago.
Debbie Fields was the founder of Mrs. Fields Cookies.
Yes.
She was born in 1956, so
She's an old broad, but she's 62 now. That's
62. That's not too old.
No, she's from Oaktown. Oaktown. You know, 911 may be a joke in Oaktown, but chocolate chip cookies were not. That's a fact, Robin. She was born in Oakland.
Yep.
Holla! Can I get a woo-woo from Mrs. Fields, baby? Mrs. Fields. So she's still alive. How's she looking? Do we have a recent picture?
Let's see.
Do you have a headshot of her?
Debbie.
Oaktown 357, baby.
Oh, she still looks kind of cute.
Let me check her out. Let's check her out, see if I would still hand her over my personalized glove, my oven glove, so she can delicately remove the fresh, chewy chocolate chips from the oven. Reach in there, baby, and just slide those suckers out. Now let's slide another tray in there, Mrs. Fields. How does it feel, Mrs. Fields?
Okay, you just sound creepy right now.
How does that feel right now?
She's had work done, but she still looks. I don't know how old that photograph is. It looks. Could she still be 62?
Let me tell you something right now. You go into the kitchen. It's like 1:30 in the morning. You have a little woolly, a hankering for chocolate chips. And she's sitting in there, standing in there, getting ready to whip up another batch of chocolate chips. I don't want any other crap in there. I just want chocolate chip, classic chocolate chip cookies. And Mrs. Fields standing there, and she's got stockings on, but she's got a skirt on.
How
And
about,
the skirt,
how about if she's just wearing the Mrs. Fields apron?
the Mrs. Fields, no, she doesn't have to be total. I need to have the element of, the thing about total nudity versus intimate apparel, that's why it's called intimate apparel, Robin. Total nudity, for the most part, you leave nothing to the imagination. I want to see Mrs. Fields wearing like one of those old school United States Army recruiting posters,
Well,
you know, where the government wants you.
For wearing, Tony. This is.
Yeah,
this
she
is
can
her-
wear that, but as long as she has a skirt on, but the skirt just every once in a while slips up a little bit above her thigh so you can see just the scent, just the scintilla of the top of the stocking, and you know that she's wearing stockings, not pantyhose. That, to me, that sends me over the edge every single time I see it.
I will keep that in mind,
You
Tony
know
Bruno.
that. All there has to be is just that 1, maybe inch and a half to confirm what you were hoping she had on underneath. The silk stockings, not on USA Network. And then, of course, you can see the little. Even if they're the ones that hold themselves up, I'm not going to be picky. If they're just the ones that hold themselves up at the top, but you have to have the little garters that snap on there. That really puts it over the edge. It's like sort of like adding whipped cream to your hot chocolate on a cold winter's day. It's really, really good without the whipped cream, but you put a little whipped cream and a cherry on it, bam. You're talking, as the great Emeril Lagasse would say, we're kicking it up notches never before seen in mankind.
This is a stock image, but Tony, is this what you're talking about?
Let's see it. Yeah, that's the look.
That's right there?
That's the look. Everybody knows that look, Robin. But you know why? Because that's not an old school, old guy thing. Young chicks are wearing stockings now. They've come back. They're, one thing about stockings, they were hip back in the early days because women didn't have pantyhose. Mm-hmm. And then they became sexy again in the 70s because you'd go into Fredericks of Hollywood and they would sell them. And then you get the Fredericks of Hollywood catalogs.
Now get this. Yeah. So when I was working for the airline years and years and years ago, when I was newly married, we had to wear pantyhose as part of our uniform.
Yeah, I hate pantyhose.
And
that's why when I watch those movies, I like when a guy gets a knife out and cuts the opening in the pantyhose.
And
that's when it gets exciting.
When you're excessively, when you're working really, really hard and you're running from one gate to another, and you overheat in pantyhose, that can be bad for a woman down
Absolutely, because it's like cooking. It's like having an oven down there.
Yes, exactly. And so things happen when you are a woman, and it's like an oven down there. And
yeah, you know what they say.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
I mean, where do you think yeast infections came from?
Exactly, and so
it's like a bubbling cauldron of all kinds of bacteria down there.
Get this, my doctor prescribed. I would go in and I was like, what am I going to do? I have to wear this part of my uniform. And he says, well, you either cut a hole in your stockings down there, pantyhose, or wear stockings. He prescribed me stockings.
That's a damn good. Is that a doctor?
That was a doctor.
My kind of doctor. I've seen a lot of those doctors in movies too, and they always prescribe the same thing, Robin. I loved that doctor, but I couldn't keep that doctor because I had Obamacare.
So, yes, ladies out there. So, Dr. Robin.
Robin.
I will do the same for everybody, all women listening. Dr. Robin says, if you still have pantyhose, throw those suckers out, wear stockings.
Max Mike 51, where do you think Fromunda cheese came from, Robin? Switzerland? I think not. What about Mrs. Paul's? Never seen Mrs. Paul's. She may be a fictitious character. Mrs. Fields was real. Mrs. Fields, we just documented it. Everybody knew Mrs. Fields. What about Marie Callender? Was she real?
Mrs. Paul's,
what about
she was founded. Mrs. Paul's, the founder, was a man, Edward J. Pizzick.
Mrs. Paul's was a man?
Yes.
That son of a bitch. Did everybody know it? Did he transition after a while, after the fish sticks? Did he have his fish stick cut off when he was first Mr. Paul, and then had the very, very painful transitioning and full surgery to remove his fish stick and his fish cake from his ass?
Mrs. Paul was actually Edward J. Pizzick. He was known for his deviled crab cakes and an accident that led to a frozen seafood empire when he worked at a local bar. He owned a local bar, and he threw extras in a freezer, and boom, there it was.
Oh, that wasn't an accident that ended his career. I thought maybe he had somebody came in and rammed up a fish stick in an orify that wasn't pleasurable.
It was an accident that led to the empire, the frozen food empire. He was from
Yes.
Fort Washington, Pennsylvania.
He's a local guy, and I remember always getting I used to love the fish sticks. Back in, when we were poor white trash. Now that we're not poor, we're just like middle income white trash now.
Uh-huh.
You get the Mrs. Paul's fish sticks. You get the crab cakes, even though back then we didn't know about that there was really very little crab meat in it. But it was a big deal. Hey, look, it's Mrs.
Probably,
Paul's crab
It wasn't
cake.
even. It was probably not even crab. It was probably like.
No, it was
cod.
crab, but it was They lose. It was like crab imitation crab meat. Do you ever see that in the supermarket?
Oh yeah.
They basically paint codfish with a little pink on the side to make you think you're really eating crab meat. I actually used to use that when I was broke ass poor, because I wasn't doing ramen when I was a poor young punk. I was doing
lived
fake
off of ramen.
crab meat. I was doing imitation crab meat, so I felt like I was somebody.
Well, you were richer. Even the fake crab meat was meat was too.
That's when I
too
was
rich
married. I was married and I wasn't making any money. I was doing imitation crab meat.
I know so many different ways to make ramen. It's not even funny, because I lived off that stuff for a while, which is so bad for you. Like the sodium in that crap. Good Lord.
In what? The Mrs. Paul's?
No, in ramen.
Oh, ramen garbage.
It's horrible for you.
The Morton's Fisherman, though, I think that guy's legit.
You think? Hold on.
Because chicks like that guy. Chicks want to do the Morton's Fisherman. Marie Callender lived in a trailer park? How did she make those great pot pies then? You know, because in trailer parks, they don't have really good ovens in those things. You know what I'm saying?
Was it Morton's or Gorton's?
Gorton's Fisherman.
Gorton's Fisherman.
Yeah, somebody wrote that. No, it's the Gorton's Fisherman.
Gorton's Fisherman.
From Gorton's of Gloucester, Robin. From Gorton's of Gloucester.
Hold on. Let's see.
He has nothing on under his big yellow outside wet coat, yellow coat.
The company traces its roots to a fishery called John Pugh and Sons. 1849.
Mrs. Paul did his cooking in a gender-neutral kitchen.
It goes way back. Way back, like the early 1900s.
Remember, Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel, Robin. That's a man, baby. That's a man. Mrs. Paul's was a man. But Billy Paul, he was legit. And yes, you know what I got to do right now, Robin, when you're talking about Billy Paul. Who's on the line right now? Hello?
Hey, Tony.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Vince from South Philly.
Hey, Vince, how are you, man? Have you ever had Mrs. Paul's fish sticks growing up?
No, I've heard of them. My parents would eat them. I was wondering, how about Mama Celeste?
Mama Celeste pizzas, yeah.
Yeah.
They're actually, the cardboard that is on top of the Mama Celeste pizza is actually more edible if you put some sauce on it and some mozzarella cheese. It tastes exactly the same.
Actually, it used to be good back in the day. I don't know what they've done to it now, but now it looks like some kind of a chemical concoction of, I don't know what kind of proportions there.
That's why I always go on the Phillies broadcast and beg for pizza and have Celebre's bring me up a nice pie.
Yeah, I remember that that plain and pepperoni line that they said at the Hall of Fame.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
FYI, Mama Celeste was a real person.
Yes, she was.
The product was named after Celeste Lizio.
Not Lizio.
No.
Or Licios.
Lizio.
Lizio.
And who carried the nickname Mama Celeste. She came to the United States from Italy with her husband Anthony in the 1920s.
Hey, yo, Anthony.
Anthony.
Make me a damn pizza, Mama.
So back in the day, they were probably really good, and then Celeste brand was later acquired by Aurora Foods and then Pinnacle Foods, where it is now.
And that's what happens. You know, somebody comes up with a great idea, big corporation buys them out, and, you know, I see it in the stores. Sometimes they're like $1, and I think, hey, I'm going to get a couple of those, slam them in the freezer, and then at night you just throw one in the oven, and you got yourself $1 pizza. I mean, is it good? Is it horrible?
The
No.
pizzas are crappy, but their
It's just-
raviolis aren't bad.
No, I mean, there's a lot of good product out there. Just because big companies take over, you know, there's nothing like making your own pizza or going to a really good local pizzeria. You know, unless unless of course you listen to Dick Vitale and you get yourself one of those. Is it DiGiorno or delivery? Now, have you had a DiGiorno frozen pizza, Vince?
Yeah, I tried one. I mean, it wasn't half bad. I mean, if you follow the directions and stuff, but it's still, I don't know. I guess if you can compare it to delivery, I guess maybe it's a good alternative. But
it's good in places where there aren't any real pizza places.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have really like Philly and New York and
Which
New Jersey.
is not here, because here.
No, yeah, in places like Philly and New York and a lot of cities have really, really good. And then the other places go to Domino's and Pizza Hut and all the other joints, and that's what they get for pizza. And it's edible. It's not like it's horrible.
Oh, yeah, I've had a few of those chains in my day. I mean, but in other words, as long as you look at it for what it is, I mean, that's all you know.
As Charlie Manuel would say when he's trying to get the Phillies to make the playoffs, which isn't going to happen,
What it is.
What it is what it is.
But
is it over, by the way? I want to, because you're a pretty optimistic guy. You're not one of these typical, guys who complains about everything. The Phillies have 18 games left. They lose another bad game. Aaron Nola now in his last 4 starts, ever since they said, "Oh, you're not going to go with 5 days rest. You're going to have to go out there till your arm falls off," which is on 4 days rest. He has now been 0-4, and of course Gabe will be blamed for that because he has no other options. I mean, what else was he going to do? But this team, there's no way. I know they're only 2.5 out, 19 games left, and a tough schedule ahead of them, and you saw them get slammed around last night.
Yeah, and who would have thought that this upcoming weekend series against the Red Sox would be pretty much meaningless between both of them?
Exactly.
I mean, that who would have thought that, at the beginning of the season? But I don't know, Tony. There's just something weird about this organization overall. I mean, I just can't put my finger on it, but it's just weird. I don't know. Like I said, the way the players are being handled, and it's a shame because Bryce Harper's obviously living up to his own billing there,
and he's the guy, let's be honest, he came in with the most pressure on him because of the money and the contract, and fans got on him from time to time. But for the most part, the guy out there plays hard. He tries every day. He doesn't dog it. He's doing what you want a high-paid player to do, is go out there and give it his all. And the problem is it's not really Bryce Harper. It's obviously they signed Robertson and guys who were supposed to be bullpen lynches, and they got hurt. The Pat Neshek re-signing I never got. So there's a lot of things that you wonder and say why, who, how. But then you look at the young pitchers, like Nick Pivetta and these guys. They have regressed. None of these young pitchers has actually taken a step forward. Pavetta's a disaster. Eflin is up and down. And so you can't even look and say, look at the minor league pitchers we have, though, all these young guys. Not one of them looks like, at this point, and it's not like they've gotten only one call-up. They've had multiple chances, and they don't seem to have a lot of stuff in the cupboard to bring up and hope. They're going to have to go out and spend money again on pitching.
Yeah, and speaking of fans, Tony, I mean, I've just tuned in, but I was wondering what's this whole Mike Scott thing now? I mean, how...
It happened on Sunday. You know what happens, and I said this last Friday. We played the tape. I said it last Thursday on the show. That the one bad thing about football season starting and people go so long between games is that people will start drinking at 7 a.m., even for a 1 o'clock game, certainly. They'll start drinking at 7 a.m. for a 4 o'clock game and for an 8:15 game. And listen, I'm not one of these prudes that doesn't have a beer or doesn't have wine, but I just never got having to go to a parking lot and drink for 12 hours before the game even starts. Now, I know people eat. Not everybody gets drunk. Not everybody's an idiot. But some people can handle it. But then you got a lot of people who may be going to their first tailgate, and they have a couple of beers, and they don't know how to handle it. And then they get sick. And that kind of stuff happens. But the thing about this incident, Vince, is that I don't hate Mike Scott. Mike Scott's a friendly guy. He likes to hang out with the fans. And he's a Redskin fan, and he went to the game with a Redskin shirt on. Most people didn't give him a hard time because he was going all around the entire parking lots, and people were slapping his back, taking pictures with him, selfies, sitting him down. One tailgate's bragging about, hey, he came over to our tailgate, and now we're being linked with other tailgates. The bottom line is, all tailgates have people there that are drunk. Does that mean they're all bad people? No. But the Mike Scott tailgate that he went to was in the F lot because they wore shirts that say F lot crew, and now all of a sudden that's offensive to people. And then there was a coffin there. And you remember, go back to the 80s and 90s, the coffin with the team's other, but people were claiming that there was what's the kid's name that died? Who was
Sean Taylor.
Sean Taylor, the defensive back who was murdered. And people immediately started claiming there was a Sean Taylor jersey on the coffin, which there wasn't. And then the other thing that people ran with as fact, that people were calling him racist names. There is no evidence that happened. Could it have happened? Possibly. But if you listen to the tape, he goes into the tent, and I'm not defending bad behavior by fans. That's the one problem when you try to explain this. People think that you're saying it's okay for fans to be idiots. I'm not saying that. I always rip fans who are. But he goes in, there's a guy wearing a white shawl like he's a pallbearer, and Mike Scott rips it off his neck, and then other people started calling him asshole, the chant.
Yeah.
But they were razzing him. They didn't want to fight the guy. And so, unfortunately, it got ugly, and one guy pushes him. He had a bodyguard there, or a buddy with him, trying to get him away, and he wanted to fight them, too. It wasn't just like they attacked him.
I believe, from what I was seeing and the angles that I saw, yes, he did do the shawl, but somebody else did throw the first punch.
I don't care who threw the first punch. My only complaint about it is that Mike Scott's got to know better to not go in and even get into any kind of verbal altercation, because not everybody knows who he is. Not everybody thinks that he has good intentions, and no matter, even if he has the greatest intentions, nothing good could happen in that situation.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
And the whole coffin thing, I mean, it's not just sports people that do it. Howard Stern did it.
Exactly. He used to take a coffin to John DeBella around Philadelphia when he would beat people in the ratings. So the Sean Taylor thing is the one lie that is being spread on the internet to make Philadelphia fans look worse than they already do. And the fact is, even though they know that it wasn't a Sean Taylor jersey and they weren't mocking a dead guy, that will always be like Santa Claus having snowballs thrown at him. People just don't want to hear all the facts. They want to go with, there's guys on radios saying this was race-related and that this was about, it was racial and all the. Meanwhile, he's hanging out with white people every day. He was with a white chick in the stands. This is not racial at all. This is one drunk who said the wrong thing and a guy who goes into a tent wearing, not because he wore a Redskin jersey, but because he couldn't take the razzing.
Right.
He couldn't take the asshole. That's unique to Philadelphia? Of course it's not. People chant asshole at people all the time, but it's usually good-natured. It's not like, hey, let's fight. The only people who fight are drunks and idiots. And that's what we had, unfortunately. But I'm not taking Mike Scott completely off the hook. I'm not saying that he's a criminal or anything else. I'm just saying that if he is not there and go into that tent, none of that stuff happens.
Because he could have just kept walking.
Exactly. He was walking around with all these tailgates, and everybody was kissing his ass, and that's fine.
And again, this is not excusing the behavior of the idiots that were drunk and started the fight, but he could have just kept walking. He did not have to poke a stick at the hornet's nest.
By the way, I have breaking news right now. Ladies and gentlemen, John Bolton has signed with the New England Patriots. That is the breaking football news this afternoon. John Bolton is now a New England Patriot. He will be available when the New England Patriots take on the Miami Dolphins this weekend.
We're going to go on to the next segment, but we thank you so much for calling.
Hey, take care.
There he is, the great Vince here in South Philadelphia. Now, that's a joke. That's a great joke.
Now, that actually is in reference to
the breaking story. Now, I don't normally do political stuff on the show because there's so much of it.
Right.
I would do 7 hours on it. But this is breaking news earlier today, and because we've been so overwhelmed with important topics to deal with today.
Now, for those of you who do not know who John Bolton is.
Well, just relax right now, Robin.
Okay.
Let me set this up, please. I'm a political science major, Robin.
Because there's a lot of people who have no interest, have no idea.
It doesn't matter. That's not the joke.
All right.
I'm setting this up for humor purposes, not for political purposes. What don't you understand, Robin?
I do understand.
What don't you understand?
But I was trying to help you set it up so that they would know why this was a big deal.
First of all, let me just say, now that you know he's signed with the Patriots, I got to give you the prelude. Ladies and gentlemen, President Donald Trump has fired National Security Advisor. You know him, you love him. Michael Bolton is gone, and we have reaction now from the former ambassador and former National Security Advisor. No, that's not the song. That's the wrong song, you stupid bastard. Here we go. This is John Bolton, ladies and gentlemen, reached moments ago from Tony Bruno and BrunoNation Live on twitch.tv. Follow, subscribe, and just enjoy his reaction.
I had to come and get it straight from you.
Anytime you get a chance to play Michael Bolton on the air, you got to. I don't like him with the short hair now, though. I like old Michael Bolton with the hair.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he's already going bald.
It's okay. It's a good look.
No, it's not. I do not. And it wasn't even a skullet. It was like bald on top, really long.
Now tell me, baby. Tell me, John Bolton.
So this is Bolton talking to Trump.
Yes, exactly. See, it's Bolton. Because as you mentioned, nobody knows who John Bolton is. Although he's got a big stash. He's a dude with the white hair and the big stash. He doesn't play enough sax in this song, though. Is there a sax riff in this song? I haven't heard this song since I was listening to.
Isn't there like
What's Her Face at Night?
There's a sax solo, isn't there?
Since I called What's Her Name at night, late night.
What's her name? Delilah.
Delilah. Not when I went to Delilah's and was making out with a chick in the parking lot who I met on the side stage earlier that evening. That's a different Delilah. One night I'm cruising around. I'm a little down in the dumps. And I wanted to call Delilah. I heard her on my radio. I was driving in the middle of the desert somewhere. And I said, Delilah, hi, I'm Tony. Can you play a little Michael Bolton for me? How am I supposed to live without you? It's not a Dead Dog dedication, but it's still a really nice tune, and it's late at night, and I'm alone, and you sound sexy. So let's crank it up, Delilah, will you? Play this for me tonight, darling. They're not playing this on CNN, MSNBC, Fox, or OAN networks. I'll tell you that right now.
No. Because their minds do not work like yours, Tony.
Now, is this better than disco? Listen, back in the 80s, this was panty dropping music. Actually, no, this was make-up sex music, not panty dropping. Here it comes. He's not playing sax in this.
God dang it.
That son of a bitch. How about this Michael Bolton tune? It's another good one. I've used this song a lot of times on women throughout my life, Robin. Crank this bitch up, please.
How can we be lovers if we can't be friends? How can we start over when the fighting never ends, baby? How can we make love if we can't make amends? How can we be lovers if we can't be friends?
Oh, Tony, they're right. You're thinking of Kenny G.
No, but Michael Bolton played a little sax too, didn't he?
I don't know
Are
now.
you sure? No, I know Kenny G.
By the way, you need to stop banging your desk because it's shaking everything, including...
All right, man. When you get into this kind of passion... But Kenny G had the long hair, too.
Yeah.
And he played mostly. He didn't sing that often.
Oh, by the way, you can very easily be lovers if you can't be friends.
It's actually the better way to do it. You don't have any lawyers knocking on your door.
Lovers only, no friends.
No, this is too laid back. I mean, I love Babyface. I love Tony Braxton. I like the whole Braxton family values thing. Here's a little Kenny G, the way we know him. No, see, that's too sad.
Too sad.
This is the Kenny G that I love. On Smooth Jazz. Twitch.tv, BrunoNation Live.
KOIT.
It is the Coyote. Not KOIT's in San Francisco, right?
I know.
Now, this was panty dropping music right here, right?
Yes. A couple candles on the bedside.
Yeah, but see, the reason I played Michael Bolton was because of John Bolton.
Yes.
Not because of saxophones.
Get it, people? Get it?
Exactly. This is one of those late night driving on the PCH, too. Hoping not to run into Mel Gibson in a drunken fuel rage.
JSC 77. Stop singing. I'm not singing.
Why aren't you singing, Robin?
No.
Well, there's no words to this song.
Well, yeah, there's no words.
KYOT. The Coyote.
Yes. And KOIT was San Francisco.
And it still is the Coit. The Coit Tower, which is the big fire hose.
Wasn't that smooth jazz too?
No, I don't think they played smooth jazz.
Was it K-Fog that played smooth jazz?
I don't know. Unfortunately,
K-Fog is now gone.
Yeah, smooth jazz is pretty much gone from all radio frequencies. It was like the hottest format back in the early 2000s. It was panty dropping music.
Yes.
All the smooth jazz. And I took you to smooth jazz concerts at the Hyatt Regency in Newport Beach for smooth summer jazz nights.
Now, Nasta Ed says we can always go to Tony Braxton, Unbreak My Heart, which is one of my favorite songs.
Oh, I love that too.
That was one of my go-to karaoke songs back in the day when I was doing a lot of karaoke.
I did a male version of that called Unbreak My Balls, bitch.
that song every day, Tony
Break
Bruno.
my ball.
Say
Then
you love me again. Here's
Is Kenny
Smooth.
G wimpy music? Is that wimpy? It's wimpy to some people, but it's smooth, man.
It's very good making love music. Making love.
It's still some white folk shit, though, to quote many of our listeners who. Yeah.
Hey, Tony.
Yes. Yes, Robin.
We haven't gone to Florida at all today.
We're already in overtime.
We're in overtime,
We're
and we
in
have
injury
not
time, ladies and gentlemen.
made our trip down to Florida.
Florida's not on the playlist today, Robin.
No, are we skipping Florida? Just wait. Will we wait for Florida till tomorrow? Because
Is it something that holds up?
Yeah, it holds up.
We did everything we needed to do today, Robin. We gave you the Nirvana update, the Hasbro Mizop. We did
Yes.
the Noda Ninjas
Because
and
you
the
actually
NBA.
have an appointment that you need to get to.
Yeah, I have to go somewhere.
You have to go somewhere.
And it's not pleasant. We did the Ninjas. We did the lottery games in baseball. We did John Bolton. We did Carson Wentz. We did the Eagles, Aaron Nola. We did the Raider fans feeling it last night. Monday Night Football recap. What else can you expect?
I think that's all anybody can ask of us, Tony.
Exactly right. Except let's go out with something a little smooth today.
Not our usual music.
No, I want to play this one. I just had the song ready now, Robin, and then you've thrown me off my steelo.
It's because you were thinking of panty dropping music.
No, I actually pulled the right song up, and it didn't go to that one. You can play pretty much anything by Tony Braxton now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This is the song I wanted to go out with, Robin. Let's send it out to all the ladies out there on Ladies' Night. Here we go. You ready? Yeah.
God, I love this song.
Oh, crank it up a little bit, please. Don't take me out of the rain. Don't take me out of, take me out of this pain. Don't leave me out in the rain, bitch.
Don't leave me out in the rain. Come back and bring back my smile. Come and take these tears away.
This is one of my all-time favorites, Robin.
I need your arms to hold me now. Lights so unkind. Bring back those nights when I held you beside me.
Unbreak my balls. Say you love me again.
Undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life.
When did this show become B101? Actually, we play better songs than B101. We don't play the same damn 10 songs over and over again. Nobody has. Plays the best of the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, but none of the shit from today than this show. It's either this or listen to some guy complaining about racists in parking lots. You make the call. Let me fast forward to the end because I want just a big finish here, Robin.
Right, it is a good, fantastic.
Unbreak my heart, oh baby. Come back and say you love me.
You better come back and say you love me tomorrow, everybody out there on the Twitch stream.
Sweet darling, without you I just can't go. Say you love me, say you love me. Tell me you love me. Unbreak my heart.
Oh!
All right. Hit the actual close now, Robin.
All right.
Let's close this bitch down right now. Let's close it down real good.
Say you love me.
And that'll do it. We want to thank everybody. All the great listeners, the people following us on the Twitch stream, my followers on @Tony Bruno Show on Twitter, all the people listening to the streams all over the streaming sites, except the Street Corner. You don't want to stream out there because it's still nasty. Somebody's got to clean it up.
Well, there's a lot of people streaming, but unfortunately, it's not the
Exactly.
computer
And
kind.
don't cross the streams. And don't drink and drive, ladies and gentlemen. Don't text and drive. And God bless America. It's a beautiful country. We'll see you here tomorrow for What Up Wednesday.
What up?
This knife has a straight edge on it, so it's very easy. Maybe in our world here, there live a happy little mountain.
Thank you for listening to the Tony Bruno Show on BrunoNation Live. Don't forget to subscribe on the Twitch mobile app so you don't miss any of BrunoNation's hilarity and hijinks, because it is definitely must-watch radio. Of course, you can catch the archived audio on your favorite podcast app like Spreaker or iTunes. Plus, if you subscribe via Twitch, you can watch any of our archived videos. We hope to see you back here every Monday through Friday. See you soon!